Oh, yeah. Little Wyatt family for you. Hey now!
What's up, man? What's up, Army? Sorry about the little delay. We were,
Good though.
Does feel good.
Woo!
Right?
Yeah.
Now it's cold in here.
I like it a little,
right?
Yeah. I have to throw some socks on an hour or two. Shit.
Woo! Oh, man.
What's up, beautiful people?
How you doing?
Of the World Wide Web.
Man,
Can I phone it up or what? You see how I just went from that to this?
you did.
Pretty good, right?
Because in the other room, we were on my computer, and,
I about threw it through the fucking wall just now.
he about punched my computer out the fucking window, and, we're very, very stressed out.
That was 6 seconds ago.
For those of you who have been in the chat room, Justin.tv, the stream site that we normally use, they were having issues. It wasn't popping up. We didn't know if we were going to be able to do a show or not. About 5 minutes before we were supposed to go on air, they came back. So here we are. And
Here we are.
man, it's been busy on the website.
Here we come, walking down the street.
What are you saying?
We get the friendliest looks from everyone we meet. Hey, we're the monkeys.
The monkeys?
People say the monkey around.
All right, no doubt.
A little singing for you.
Man, it's been busy, man. You know what? I mean,
You know, UK, you can blow me right off the bat. I'm sorry, go ahead. I want to know.
what happened? Did you play him in fantasy?
No, look what he said.
Nah. How about them Buffalo Bills?
What about the Lions? Yeah, the Lions lost. Buffalo Bills won.
We'll talk a little bit about NFL. It was a pretty good week for me. One of the fantasy leagues, I won in the WZR league, and I lost.
So did I.
2-0. 2-0.
What's your record?
1-1. 1-1. Listen, man, you had a couple players blow up. You know, a couple of weeks. You know what I mean?
Can't be a coincidence 2 weeks in a row, buddy. I'm just good.
It happens. It happens. But anyway, I won in the WZR league, and I lost in my other league, and then in our league, I don't.
BWR Nation.
I thought it was Winter Flat. I played Winter Flat.
BWR Nation.
BWR Nation.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is either.
I know Winter Player. There he is. Congrats, Booney says. Thank you very much, Lance.
It was
Well, first name
it
basis.
was pretty close last night because the guy that I was playing, the BWR Nation, was had Jermaine Gresham and Pittsburgh defense, and I think I won by 10 points.
Oh, it was Dino. BWR Nation is federation.
No, I played Dino.
Yeah.
All right, no doubt. No doubt.
So.
That was a good battle, Dino. It came down to last night. I thought you were going to beat me, man, with Jermaine Gresham, and then I was doing good throughout the night, and then in the fourth quarter, who was it? Cincy had the lead, so they were trying to run down the clock, so they were just kind of running the ball.
You talking the Monday game?
I'm talking last night, right after Ron, they were trying to run the ball out or run the clock out, so they just kind of ran the ball. And so that's what happened. That was a good matchup, man. We both did pretty good. I think Aaron Rodgers got you this week, man. I mean, he put up like 80 points, and that's not going to happen every week. But
Did he put up 80 points?
That 80 points, yeah.
They hit like what, 400, almost 500 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy, man. Yeah.
Stafford
too, man. Stafford too. And then my Buffalo Bills, man. We're playing on Sunday. Thought we're gonna lose another game, and EJ Manuel was like 2 minutes left on the clock. EJ Manuel drives the entire field.
EJ Manuel, the Bills quarterback.
The rookie Bills quarterback, never started in the NFL until this year. He drives
He wasn't even your starter, right? He was like your backup.
No, it was Kevin Cobb was going to be our starter, and
Yeah,
he got hurt, and EJ got hurt too. But EJ was able to come back, before Cobb was, and so they've been going with EJ. EJ's been killing it every week, man. We lost to the Patriots in week 1.
That was a good game.
That was a real good game, and we lost on the final drive. And then this week we won on the final drive.
That was one of the most insane comebacks I've seen in a long time.
That's pretty good.
It was crazy. It was literally like 6 seconds? What was it?
There was 6 seconds left on the clock,
Yeah.
and then we had to kick the ball back to him, and they went for like a Hail Mary, but I would sack them. So
but you guys had to drive the whole field.
Yep.
And right at the last few seconds, you guys got to touch it. The guys are crying. They're on their knees praying.
EJ,
it's like they won the
was
Super
crying.
Bowl.
EJ was crying.
Yeah.
His first big game. He said
First win as a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah. So it was a pretty good week. I mean, your Lions wound up losing. I didn't know they lost. So you just said
we lost. We were winning the entire time, and we had a field goal block near the very end. They kind of started the downward sliding momentum, and Arizona was able to drive and score and get the lead for the first time in the game since the very first drive when I think they were 3-0, I think. But we were winning the whole time, blowing at the end. The exact opposite of what we did. Yeah. But it was a good game.
You know what? I
won in fantasy 2-0.
2-0. Yeah, you're doing all right. You know what? I forgot. I brought the phone. You always need a phone, right?
Muted?
You never know. I'll mute it. Yeah.
Of course not.
It's muted now.
All right.
I got the steaks. I got the water. I got one cup of beer that I was going to drink. I got stressed out. I wasn't going to drink tonight, and then I got
Glass
stressed.
of
Glass of beer. I got the extra.
I got mine.
Right here? Yeah. Can I use it? We'll put it up there.
There you go.
That works.
Look at
For now, and then I'll get mine during the break. But man, we got a lot to talk about tonight.
Busy
we got
weekend.
a busy weekend with the Mayweather fight. Mayweather fight was
It was the Mayweather fight.
The judge, CJ
Ross.
CJ Ross.
Yeah.
Taking a lot of criticism.
Lady.
114. Yeah, everybody CJ Ross and people are thinking
The
dude, right? But man, 114.
Figure that one out.
114.
Chick saw the fight the wrong way.
And then you know what? She came out the next day and she defended it.
Oh, they always do.
Right.
They'll never see a judge say, I made a mistake. They will sit there.
She was paid off by that. No doubt about it.
Either bettors or the promoters, like old boys. But either way, you will never. And there's many classic times. I think it was the. I want to say the Sugar Ray Leonard Marvin Hagler fight. There's one famous fight where a judge got it pretty wrong. Well, that was a close debate fight. But either way, they would go after the fight with the reporter, watch the fight over, and sit there and explain why they had the bullshit card they did.
Right.
And they'll have to do it with a straight face. They'll have to actually sell you like they really believe it. When it's total shit.
Yeah, 114.
That means they called 6 rounds for Floyd.
Right.
6 rounds for Canelo.
I gave Canelo
maybe 2
rounds. I gave him 1 round. I gave him the first or second, and then Mayweather was the rest of the fight. How she saw 6 and 6 is beyond.
There was some
she said it was the jab. That was
jab, like her. How do you jab again?
Her defense was the jab.
I'll never box.
Well, you want me to stand up?
Just jab like this. Flick it out there. You don't do this.
All right. She said that it was the jabs that were connecting, and you know, give me a break.
Bottom line is there were some rounds because Mayweather's not a very explosively offensive fighter. In fact, he's known for the exact opposite. Incredible defense.
Yeah. So
there were some rounds that were close rounds in that, like, nobody clearly won the round. I mean, it was pretty obvious to me Mayweather won every round of the fight. You might be able to give him the first, maybe the second.
Maybe the second, right.
But that's being generous in my opinion. But either way, in a fight where the rounds are close, you could say, oh, it's a close round. Fuck it, I'll go Canelo. But if enough close rounds pile up, all of a sudden, by the end of the fight, when it's clear just as a whole that Mayweather's winning, they do the the Queens of Marquee Queens. I forget how to say that traditional bullshit. But there's a boxing rule. You do, 10-point must each round. And when you're doing it round by round and you're saying, that was a close round, I'll give it to Canelo. You do that enough times, and on paper, you've got all of a sudden a 6-6 fight. But then when the fight's over, it's like obvious Mayweather won as a whole. It just looks stupid on the breakdown.
I would like somebody from the Nevada State Athletic Commission to go back and sit down with her
They probably did.
and watch that fight. And what were you watching to judge that 114, and let her explain round by round what she saw, and if she changes her mindset.
She wouldn't, and she didn't, because the next day. And Keith Kaiser is the same guy that allows Steve Mazzagatti to referee UFC
and he's
fights.
taking a lot of heat.
And they will show him shit where Steve Mazzagatti's letting guys get hurt, ruining guys' legacies. That John Jones fight where it's like he's got a loss on his record forever to Matt Hamill.
Dana can't stand him, right?
No, he can't stand Mazzagatti. Well, the most recent example is World Series fighting. John Fitch, very controversial, was cut from UFC. He was a boring fighter. He cost a lot of money, and he lost a couple fights.
Controversial, not controversial.
Controversial.
Controversial. Controversial.
Controversial. It's IAL.
Yeah.
Controversial. Look it up while I'm talking. I'm ready.
Wait a minute. In the chat room, is it controversial or controversial? Maybe it's my New York accent.
Go ahead and go to the chat.
Wait a minute. I don't think I am. He always corrects me. I'm good. We were in the car today. What was it today?
You said he drove by the CBS.
I messed up today.
He said I'm memorized by the building. I said mesmerized. He said memorized, same thing. I said no, it's not even close to the same thing.
Yeah, all right. I was wrong today.
Scholl, the scrawny
That's
dude.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, he said you're right, but he's wrong too.
Nah, I don't think so.
I'll look it up on dictionary.com. Controversial.
Seal?
No,
Controversial?
Yeah.
Controversial.
Controversial. C-O-N-T-R. Contro. O-B-I-A-L. I-A-S-I-A-L. Yeah, controversial.
Alright.
You can say it either way, honestly.
Say it. What do you guys think? Controversial or controversial?
Don't twist. I didn't say seal.
Controversial. Controversial.
Yeah.
Okay. Or controversial.
By the way, I didn't say controversial. I said controversially. Now you're screwing me all over. A controversial is fuck it. Either way.
I'm right, he's wrong, right? Alright.
You're not.
Speaking of our chat room, man, get to our live chat room, WZROnline.com. Chat, WZROnline.com. This fucking guy.
No, either way, like I was saying, like Steve Mazzagatti in the example I was giving was John Fitch fight. He fought Josh Berkman on a World Series fighting show. What happened was he guillotined John Fitch, and that's a choke that could crush your windpipe. It could kill you.
Right.
And the guy was face down. He was unconscious, and Mazzagatti's standing right there staring at it.
Yeah.
Berkman lets go himself.
Right.
Biggest one
no
of
one
his career.
it's over.
Biggest one of his career.
Right.
He could have let go. Fitch might have snapped too, and all of a sudden, every second fight he loses. And
Right.
he's like, I don't want to hurt this guy.
Right.
Potentially kill him.
Made the ref look like an idiot.
Kill him.
And then when he let go, the guy was out.
The guy was out, and the referee's like, okay, it's over. But if it was up to the ref and he left the choke until the ref pulled him off, he could have really hurt that guy.
Yeah.
And Dana White,
I've
nothing to do
Dana
with
trash.
yeah, that's the most recent example. And Dana White's like, that's not even my company. I give a shit about worlds, but I do care about the fighters. And this fucking clown Mazzagatti's gonna let somebody get seriously hurt.
Yeah, no doubt.
Or seriously hurt.
You asshole, man. Alright, so check it out, man. This is what we're gonna do. In hour numero uno.
I like Robbie.
Hour number one, what?
I was just gonna make a joke that he said you have a choice. Join the WZR TV chat room, WZROnline.com/chat.
Flash.com.
There you go. Or get knocked out by the Big Show.
Big Show.
That's
That
Catch
seems to
22.
be the trend that's going on.
Sophie's choice or whatever.
So we're gonna run down Night of Champions from Sunday night. You had some problems early on with the stream and the computer. And
Almost threw my computer through the window that night.
Yeah. It's been a rough couple days around here.
I'm known to have a short fuse.
And then Monday Night Raw from last night. We're gonna talk about that too. And then the big news that we haven't talked about because you said it last week, man. It seems like the day after WZR TV ends, something big,
huge story. And we were considering doing a breaking news.
We were gonna come on here and do something.
We were gonna do an audio, not a TV thing, but because we were like, we gotta wait 6 fucking days to talk about this huge story, and that huge story is
Jim Ross has retired from WWE. That is not the case in the least bit. They are pissed off. They were pissed off, and they have been for weeks about the WWE 2K. What's the 2K14 symposium? Yeah. Panel for sure. Yeah, the panel. They've been pissed off for a while. They brought him in for a meeting last week and basically forced him into retirement, aka you're fired.
AKA 20 years.
Right. It's just a crazy story. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to save all the news for hour number 2. We're going to get through Monday Night Raw and Night of Champions in hour number 1. In hour number 2, we'll talk all the news and rumors, other big stories over the course of the week. Today, broke that SoCal Val, not really new news. It happened last month.
30th. Yeah.
Was that
29th or 30th?
29th or 30th. Okay.
So a couple, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. A little over 2 weeks.
She was about the same time she was fired.
Almost on the dot.
Yeah. So she was arrested for DUI, driving under the influence.
A couple of charges.
Leaving the scene of the accident.
And that's the bigger charge. I mean, there was one other one on there, but yeah. So yeah, a couple of charges there, and mug shots online. If you want to check that out, where you can see it. I don't know.
TNAWrestlingNews.com. There you can see it over the mug shots up. Pretty good mug shots.
Hey, I got a pretty good mug right here.
Yeah. Boy, I tell you what, before we took showers earlier, man, we were scruffy.
Woo! Separate showers.
We had Mayweather. We kind of talked about that. Mayweather wound up winning the fight. What else do we have here? Hulk Hogan's TNA contract expiring on October 1st. That is going to be interesting. A lot of contracts are expiring. Mickey James' contract recently expired. Ken Anderson's contract recently expired.
AJ Styles is on the short-term deal.
So we'll talk about all of their contracts
coming up this year.
Sting later this year. Well, Sting's on a
very
yearly,
beginning, yeah.
a yearly.
You're saying they're all coming around. Yeah, AJ Styles and Sting will be around the same time.
No Surrender. We have the Big Impact. They drew a pretty decent rating.
Yep.
1.1.
SmackDown surprisingly drew an incredible good rating.
2.0, yeah.
That's my final number.
Yeah.
But the viewership was up the highest since April. The final rating was the highest since August.
Right.
Beginning of August.
Yeah.
Good ratings, and we also have the UFC this Saturday.
I like that, how you covered for me when I was taking it.
I didn't know you were going to.
That's why I like working with this guy, man, because if I take a sip of water, he'll see me taking a sip of water, and he'll know we can't have dead air. That's good, man.
But, John Jones, Alexander Gustafsson,
right,
Gustafsson, however you want to say it, controversial way to say his name. This Saturday on
that's the next one, huh? This
Saturday, yeah. We also got it's John Jones, Alexander Gustafsson, Henan Burrell, the interim champion of the bantamweight division, against Eddie Wineland, and then we got Brendan Shaw versus Matt Mitrione.
That can't be a pay-per-view.
That's a pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view? Yeah. I guess John Jones is the
in Toronto, so it'll be a hot crowd. Canadians love that shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, it should be a good show.
No doubt, no doubt. Real quick, we'll get the plugs out of the way. I did want to, we found out last week was, last Wednesday was September 11th. All those people that passed away, almost 3,000 people died on that day back in 2001.
Is that the number? 3,000?
It was 2,900 and I want to say 87. 2,900.
Were you watching a TV show the next day where they were literally saying every fucking name?
Yes.
I heard
they do it every year.
Okay.
They do it every year. They bring up the family members and they read off 10 or 15 names, and then the last name that they read off is their family member that passed away during the bombing. And then the following year, they bring different families on, so each family gets to recognize their family member that passed. Man, Washington D.C. You guys, I'm sure you guys have heard about it. All of the news, just the deranged, crazy.
I like that word, deranged.
Ex-Marine walked in, or ex-Navy SEAL guy. I don't know if he was on the SEAL team. SEAL team's you got the Navy, right? But walked in there yesterday and wound up shooting up the place, and 12 or 13 people dead. And many others injured. So
he was by himself, right? Because originally
they had thought that there was two or three different people, but
just the one guy.
It was just him. So all those people, crazy people,
there's some fucking nuts out
in this world, right? Unbelievable. So rest in peace to all the people that passed away yesterday. Just crazy. WWE SmackDown being taped tonight in Cincinnati, Ohio.
U.S. Bank Arena.
U.S. Bank Arena. No delay tonight. They're on the same time zone.
Is Ohio on YouTube?
They are. I thought it was Central Time.
Yeah, you think it's an hour, right? Okay.
I think, right? I don't think there's a here. You know what? What's the current time in Cincinnati? What's happening here? What's happening here? Here we go. Current time in Cincinnati, Ohio. Let's see if it's 8:26 p.m. on the East Coast. There'll be a little clock that pops up right here in the yeah. See, no, it's all right. No, it's all right.
You can check it like that.
Yeah, man. Anyway, they no delay tonight. So SmackDown spoilers should be out. I know. I'm the same way, brother. I'm the same way. You know what? We can go after the show. We can. There's one more. Close to 10, right? No, close to midnight. Oh. But anyway, so we're gonna have WWE SmackDown spoilers coming up about 10:30, 11 o'clock Eastern time tonight. So
remember that show, WKRP in Cincinnati?
WKRP.
Old school sitcom. Remember kids?
No. Now the one is Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Right?
Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Yeah. I never got into that. My old boss.
People say it's great, right?
My old boss, Brian, he was telling me he's got to watch the show. I tried watching it a couple times and didn't like it. The little scrawny fucker in it with the goofy Kermit the Frog voice. He was in that movie Horrible Bosses.
I've never seen it, though.
He's a funny little son of a bitch.
How was your Breaking Bad finale?
Oh, fuck me. It wasn't the finale, but it was...
oh, really?
I thought it was. It was amazing. Well, I swear to God, I lost my breath a few times.
Yeah?
and you get, fucking emotion.
Hey, did you ever see the Jimmy Fallon thing?
Yes.
Was it good?
It was brilliant.
Yeah?
I put it on Facebook. You got, they don't know my Facebook.
Well,
Right.
plug it.
Well, it's a personal Facebook account.
Oh, all right, no doubt. But yeah, Jimmy Fallon did this. I had no idea. Not Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy Fallon. And he did this whole thing. I had no idea what any of it
I'm not going to break it down, but it was like they covered every major thing. They had Gus, the black, smooth, cool talking guy, and they had that little pig doll behind him. I don't think people caught that. That was flying in the forward shot they showed. Yeah. They had him in his fucking tighty whities, which Cranston always does. They had the guy always saying bitch, which he always does. They had
I watched about half of it and then
the
shut it off.
The old school Mexican guy that rings the bell and talks. They had Jay Leno playing that part.
Did they? Jay was in it?
At the very end, Jimmy's like talking to somebody. You don't see who it is. You see him hitting the bell, which is what they did on Breaking Bad. Long description. Explain that, but anyway, he's like, so you do want me to take over the show? Ding ding, which means no, you don't want me to take over the show. Ding 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 ding. Yes, and then he turned the camera around. And Jay Leno acting like that's hilarious. That's awesome. Yeah, it was awesome.
All right, so we'll get the plugs out of the way, then we're going to get into it. We got about a half an hour. We're going to do 15 minutes on each, man. Night of Champions, Monday Night Raw. Then we're going to come back. We really need to get into Jim Ross stuff.
That's a big one.
The way that they've treated him over the years.
Bullshit.
You know, it really is.
Like, there's very few things I get, like, worked up about with wrestling. But that Jim Ross shit really bugs me.
And he's so classy, man. He's so classy.
We don't want to talk about it now?
No, let's
save it.
We'll save it for hour number 2 because we're going to get into it, dude. Because I know.
You know, what the fuck is... Yeah,
right. What did Jim do to...
What's he supposed to do? The guy's talking about his dead fucking kid. Hey, stop. It's not about your dead kid, Rick.
Yeah.
It's about this little video game.
Well, Rick's emotional, too. Well, Rick,
he had never spoken about that publicly. He's telling everybody what a classic company... Yeah, save it.
And hour number 2.
What an asshole. Whoever made that call.
You can see. Boone's pissed off over it.
I grew up with it. Man, I was a WCW fan. Yeah, with WWE, but I'm talking since NWA. I followed him. I was a WCW fan as a kid, then I gradually became a WWE fan during the Attitude Era. Yeah. And he went with the Attitude. So he was with WCW, so I followed him over.
What they've done to him on TV over the years, too, it's just, it all culminates with what happened last, I'm sorry. Okay. All right, so we'll get the plugs out of the way. Night of Champions, Monday Night Raw, and then hour number 2, running down the news to be a rapid fire. Still can't take 5 phone calls to work on. We are getting close.
I think we might have had a breakthrough in figuring this thing out.
We do have a big breakthrough.
Yeah, we have to really sit down and
yes. So we're going to be, hopefully next week. We didn't have time this week. Got real busy with the pay-per-view. But,
well, we could have set it up, but then all of a sudden, Justin TV decided to be a stubborn bitch right before we go on the air.
You're right.
And we were going to come early. We were always late. We said, we want to be on time. SmackDown is going to get off the air at 10. Let's be on time. Everything's set up. We had 20 minutes to spare. We go in there to put our final plugs up, and Justin TV.
I saw the chat room, and there were like 5 people in the chat room.
That was your first. Yeah, I thought we just had shitty numbers. And I'm like, yeah, just a shitty numbers. And they're like, no, something's going on here. And then when we went and checked, sure enough, you were right. I was wrong.
Yes!
Very controversial to say that.
I love that.
I will say it.
That's like a running thing with me and Boone, dude, or with Boone and I. You know what I mean? We got to,
I wouldn't have corrected that.
All right, so let's get plugged out of the way, and then we'll get into it. Official website of WZR Radio, WZROnline.com. We are on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter as well. Facebook.com/WZRArmy, YouTube.com/WZRArchive, and Twitter as well. Just go to WZROnline.com, top navigation bar, social media tab, drop down menu. It's got all the links to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter right there.
Goddamn right.
All the news.
My dot's kind of like your dad.
Oh, man. All right, so get there, WZROnline.com, and our live chat room on and in progress. As always, taking a lot of questions out of the chat room, WZROnline.com/chat, WZROnline.com/chat. Get there, lots of people in there as always tonight.
All right, let me get this out of the way before we officially finish with the anything here. So, I was promised we'd go to the post office a few times. I was asked to remind you, which I did twice, about this back here. So you can go ahead and give your explanation. You're probably going to get you're going to be legitimately mad when we go to the commercial, but I ain't taking the heat for this shit. I did my job. You asked me on air to remind you, and I did remind you. So I did my part, just so you know, Remy.
Alright, so right here, we didn't have enough time.
Gorgeous t-shirts,
right? The gorgeous t-shirts, right? T-shirts. We got to set up. I wrecked this last week when we came on here.
Yeah, we need to fix that.
Tore this up. So we do need to fix.
That's why it looks a little disgusting behind us there.
So the post office, You're acting like I never took you to the post office.
We went to the Albany.
We went to the post office.
And then we drove by the one we needed to go to. And then the next day I reminded you again. And you
we didn't have time because it got busy. The Jim Ross thing broke.
Yeah.
It was busy all day. So I promise that this week, man, we're going to go to the post office. You know what comes on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And when that comes on Friday, we need to get, what's his name, t-shirt out. He asks for it every week on the Rattler.
Remy, right? Anthony Remy.
Anthony Remy. That's what it is.
I don't remember your name, buddy.
He asks for it every week. Sorry about that. But we're going to get it out. And we went to the wrong post office. We've been looking for a package that never came here. Yeah. And we went to the Albany post office. And they told us, fuck out of here.
This package is beautiful. Let's take a look at it. But, the package my sister said never came.
So WWE United Champions from Sunday night. I know you missed the first part.
I saw everything, and the first match or two because of the stream, but I skipped Breaking Bad and watched that the next day. But fucking as a whole, I thought that shit sucked shit.
It wasn't that good, bro.
It was like Raw. They opened the show with a 30-minute promo.
Yeah,
like
they did with Triple H, right? Well, we had the pre-show first, and they announced the tag team turmoil match, right?
That was good.
How about the all-star panel that they had up there with Josh Matthews, Alex Riley, who, by the way, Alex Riley, I've been saying he's good, right?
Yeah, as a commentator, he's all right. He's got personality and energy.
Booker T, give it up for Booker T.
I like Booker T.
Booker's all right.
I think the star of the panel, are you about to clown on him?
Who's the, Santino.
Yeah.
Santino Morel.
I thought he was hilarious.
Great.
He's breaking down how, you can't teach being a twin.
Right.
He's talking about the Uso brothers and shit. He's like, you cannot teach being twins. I tell you, and they kept jumping over him while he was trying to make that joke.
I'm just saying, the all-star panel.
Is that what they called it?
Of Santino Marella, Alex Riley, Josh Matthews, and Booker T.
Bunch of jobbers, and then the guy that won the poll for World Heavyweight Champion.
What was up with that?
And then, the best WWE champion of all time was Hulk Hogan.
The tag team champions.
Was DX. And then the
DX.
that was. A lot of people wouldn't even remember.
That's what I'm saying. It's such a younger fan base now.
That they control the options of who, they can't control the vote. Right. Turns out they do legitimate polls now.
They were legit.
Yeah. For case in point, the best U.S. champion of all time was?
Oh, who was it?
Ow! That might be before your time. That's the old school thing.
Oh, yeah. So, two TNA talents, man.
Hogan and Sting. Two out of the four polls.
Yeah.
I was shocked they had Sting as an Hogan I can see. So iconic, can't skip them. They probably thought Austin was winning. Or maybe The Rock, but
no, wait a minute. I thought, alright, Sting was never in WWE, so this
U.S. champion.
He was U.S. champion.
The U.S. title was the WCW champion.
Oh, okay.
Migrated down.
Gotcha. Alright, no doubt. So we had the tag team turmoil match. I mean, we talked about this.
What was it called?
Tag team turmoil.
I started a little bit.
Did it? Alright, we had that during the pre-show. We had
what did you think of that? It was the Primetime Players, the 3MB, Real Americans, and Tons of Funk.
I thought it was a good match. I thought it was pre-show.
Damn good.
Really good, right?
McIntyre did that fucking flip over
the
top. Nobody was there to catch him, so he just got crashed and burned, but it was pretty sweet. The Usos were fucking on fire in that match.
Yeah.
Titus O'Neil, not so much Darren Young, but Titus O'Neil really shined. More so in the match. I guess we'll spoil it. The Primetime Players won. Right. Went on to fight the Shield for the tag.
And we knew that going in.
I didn't. I took the Usos.
Did you?
Because of Total Divas. I thought they were filming. I was wrong. You were right. There's points I have to say that. But, I kind of figured Primetime, but I wanted to disagree with you as I was doing that. But the Uso brothers, they were really good in that match. Primetime Players, more Titus O'Neil, like I said, than Darren Young, but as a whole, that was a pretty damn good match.
Yeah.
The other thing I thought was weird was twice during the match, they cut the commercial.
They've done it the last couple on the kickoff show, right?
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, it's weird, man. They've done it the last couple times, though. But I had a feeling going in with the Primetime Players, too, just because Darren Young, all the media attention.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was the obvious choice. I was trying to be clever and be like, well, they're not going to go with the obvious choice. Usos, they don't be anything else than Usos. But the one note I want to make real quick before we get off the kickoff show was in the very beginning, Josh Matthews, like the first opening speech he gave, he had to break down all the different ways you could watch the kickoff show. And he's like, you can watch it on your Xbox, your PlayStation, your Samsung, your WWE app, your YouTube. It was like
you're watching it right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you're watching it, you don't need to be told how to watch it. Nobody can hear you if they're not watching it. So why explain? Right.
So they open the pay-per-view. Triple H comes out, and I said to you, man, He cuts a babyface promo, right?
Yeah, well, it's worth noting that during the kickoff show, Brad Maddox.
What show?
Kickoff show.
Kickoff show.
What I said?
You started.
Okay. Fuck! Damn! I did too. Alright, so during the kickoff show, smoothly nothing controversial about that.
Controversial.
But Brad Maddox walks by Paul Heyman and says, "What are you worried about?" Blah, blah, blah. And I like the beautiful touch. Heyman didn't shave.
Yeah.
But no, they switched it. Long story short, they switched it to a no DQ match because Heyman was like, "Oh, I'll just punch the ref in the face, give myself a squash fight. Punk can't touch me."
Way to spoil what you're gonna do, Paul. You know what I mean, dude?
Well, no, in the end, it was genius because it allowed what happened to happen.
Exactly.
Well, that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right back.
No spoil it. But yeah. So anyway, that was the that makes this.
By the way,
now Paul Heyman. Yeah, we'll get to that. But that was just setting up the background because Triple H comes out, then Heyman comes out, and he said he cut the babyface promo. But yeah, Heyman made a no DQ match, or Brad Maddox did, to Heyman. And then while in the ring for the promo, Triple H is basically a babyface. Telling Heyman, you're not.
Heyman was great here.
Yeah, you're not weaseling your way out. What do they call him? The Walrus now instead of the Walrus?
Is that Paul?
Yeah, it's Paul.
Who is it? Michael Cole on commentary?
Everybody does.
Yeah.
They get a chance now and everything.
All right. Yeah, Paul was great here, man. He just basically, like Boone said, tried to weasel his way out of the match, you know, saying, I got a family at home, I got 2 kids, and you can't do this late. If Punk gets his hands on me, I'm
he doesn't want to just beat me or grapple me or wrestle me. He wants to hurt me. Yeah. So, long story short, what was it? Curtis Axel grabs the mic and says, "I know it is. You're mad that the day I debuted, I whooped your ass in a match Triple H." And then he said May 25th, and Triple H said, "Wow, you even remember the date."
The stuff with what was it? Curtis Axel saying, or Triple H said it, and then Curtis followed it up where you do have faith in me, Paul, right? Or you do trust me.
He said, "You do believe in me, right?" He's like, "You don't have to believe in yourself on this one."
Something like that. But Paul was like,
Yeah,
kind of believe in you. It was a good way. It was a good promo between Paul and Triple H, but it's on pay-per-view. That should have been done.
I like it just because any excuse to hear him talk.
I love it.
Yeah, I'll take it. Right. But another long story short, they set up an impromptu Intercontinental title match here. Triple H is the first guy I see when I cross the curtain to go backstage. I'll send out the challenge Axel for the Intercontinental title.
That's a good question. I'm going to ask it anyway. It smells like weed right now. You smell that? We smelled it the other night too, and it smells like a skunk.
Yeah. My window's open.
But it smells like pot. No, it just came in just in the last couple of minutes. We smelled it the other night. Yeah, I don't know. So like Booth said, Triple H walks his way to the back, and the first guy that he finds is
Kofi Kingston.
Kofi Kingston comes out. On paper, looks like a good match for the Sack. Absolutely. And it was a pretty good match to kick off the show. The crowd kind of died out towards the middle of the match, and then who won it was Curtis Axel. He became the DDP or whatever it was. Right. So he retained there. Let's see. They did the polls throughout the night where they asked, who's the greatest WWE champion.
First one was, I think, Intercontinental.
Is that who it was? And Chris Jericho wound up taking that, right? I think it was Chris Jericho. Hunk Man was in there too.
Yeah. Hunk had that streak where he was the longest running. I'm the greatest Intercontinental champion I'll ever win. Hunk Man.
Let's see.
Pat Patterson, the first ever. Rabson, Rick Rude. I was surprised they had Rick Rude because it was a long-standing beat. He's dead now, so maybe that. But he was that famous during the Monday Night Wars. He appeared on a taped edition of Raw, and on the exact same time, if you flipped over to TNT, he screwed WWE and jumped ship, and he was on a live Nitro. And WWE purposely put him out because they knew Raw was taped, and they would watch Raw. Where they see Rick Rude come out with DX, they say, "All right, go." Rick Rude goes out live on Nitro, bam, on both
head
shows,
to head on both
at the exact same time. How is Rick Rude in 2 places at the same time? Yeah, there were some assholes back in the day.
Yeah, that was great.
Bischoff,
we had Ricardo Rodriguez backstage teaching Rob Van Dam how to do. He
was asking different things in Spanish, and it culminated with RVD saying, "How do you say World Heavyweight Champion?"
RVD.
And Ricardo's like, "That one's easy." RVD. You can only do one hand with a sling, but yeah.
We had AJ.
And then before he leaves, he says, "All right, thanks," and he pats him right on the hurt arm.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, dude.
We had AJ Lee backstage. She was there with Layla, Oksana, and Alicia Fox.
They all bang
and they all take off, right? Let's see. And then that led us to our Divas match. It was AJ Lee against Brie Bella, Natalia, and Naomi. Who? Natalia.
Natalia.
It's
very controversial.
Controversial. Fuck out of here, man. AJ Lee wound up retaining
with the octopus. Is that what they call it? That submission hold?
Right. Is this where Natalia? Is this where she did the double sharpshooter?
Yes.
Was it?
Yeah.
That it was a cool spot, but it was a cool spot, but it was just, I don't know, like it didn't seem realistic. Like this wouldn't really.
It wasn't organic. It was forced. It was like, all right, here we're gonna set this spot up,
and the way that she took her leg.
Yeah, it's almost like they were helping her.
They were helping her do it.
Right. Yeah.
Seemed forced. But AJ Lee wound up retaining here. Alberto Del Rio and Rob Van Dam for the World Heavyweight title.
Great match.
I had said last week, they're in Michigan. Maybe RVD cashes in, or RVD wins the title in Michigan. Everybody pops you. Damian Sandow comes out, cashes in, back-to-back hits.
You said Damian was going to cash in during the Brian Orton match.
I did, but that was no. Because Damian Sandow's got the world title, right? Damian Sandow's got the world title.
You told me after the pay-per-view, you were like, remember there was 10 minutes left after Brian won. I said I thought they were going to come out and reverse. I even broke the fast count, which you didn't even notice.
I didn't. I really didn't.
Which was the whole story on Raw. We'll get into that. But you said, well, I thought Sandow. And I was like, you know what? That was fucking brilliant because it wasn't even crossing my mind.
Yeah, I remember saying that, but I thought it was for this match, man. Because I talked about it last week for this match.
You might have said it last week, but when we were talking after the paper, we were drunk too. But you were saying I was expecting Sandow. I'm like, you know what, dude? They should have did that because I did not expect that. It didn't even cross my mind. Yeah.
That wasn't on Raw last night. We didn't talk about that after Raw.
No.
All right, let's take it. All right, no doubt. So we had Alberto Del Rio wound up retaining here. Really good match.
I thought it was
Del Rio's been on a roll.
Yeah, and so was RVD. Yeah, they both had great, especially this whole run since he's come back. RVD has some great matches. Del Rio, when they give him time, he has great matches. Yeah, and they usually give him time. He's on TV. So.
Let's see.
The finish is kind of bullshit.
What was the finish?
He puts him in the cross arm breaker. RVD gets the ropes. Del Rio won't let go. Disqualified. That's how.
You're right. Yeah, that was cheesy. The crowd didn't like that either. No. The crowd shit all over that. Paul Heyman backstage with Curtis Axel, basically, saying we can't get disqualified tonight. We've got to win, otherwise, CM Punk's going to get his hands on me and it's just going to fuck with me. Yeah, I'm going to be murdered, pretty much, right? We had Triple H backstage with Randy Orton. Orton's pissed off, asking, earlier in the night, Triple H had said in the promo that he wanted everything to be, a straight match with a shield.
So no interference.
No big show, no shield, nobody tonight, right?
No interference allowed.
Exactly. And so basically he says that, and Randy's pissed off, wanting to know why would you ban the shield, why would you ban all these people? And Triple H says, I want to find out if you're really.
I want to make sure I pick the right guy.
Pick the right guy, that's what it was. Fandango against The Miz, unadvertised, right? In front two.
Give him some time, too.
Miz won with a figure four leg lock here, and then, last night on Raw, they just destroyed the shit out of it.
How about the Miz's parents on Raw? Oh, man, we talked about that on the Raw commentary. I said they look like this.
Miz looks just like his mother.
Sorry, Miz. They look like this trailer trash. When you go to a WWE event, there's always like a bunch of dirtbag, homeless-looking, fat, beard, fucking. They got their signs.
Way to stereotype, boom.
Dirty, grungy-looking T-shirts, and you're like, I'm at a pro wrestling show, and they look like two people you'd see at a pro wrestling show. But yeah, his mom was brilliant. She was the facial. Yeah. Oh my God, his dad was like. Just sitting there watching.
He looks like his mother, man. He looks just like his mother. What do you guys think in the chat room about the Mrs. Parents?
Yeah, Winter's Lair. Mrs. Dad looked like it's still real to be doing it.
A little bit. No.
I want to thank you for your body's through. It's still real to be doing it.
That was good.
Pretty good, right?
Good. And then what's somebody on the panel. Steve Cornell
saying what needed to be said.
Somebody was on the panel and they're like, all right, calm down.
Jim's like, whoa, it's all right, man.
Calm down, buddy. All right, we
saying what needed to be said.
I love it. Go listen to that on the archive. That's pretty fucking good right there, man. All right, we had back to pay-per-view. This is where so Fandango or Miz beats off Fandango for Red Black.
Good match. For
It wasn't for
nothing. Who cares match? It was
impromptu.
Yeah, impromptu. Good wrestling match.
Good word. Impromptu. I like it.
I already used it. Yeah, go ahead.
CM Punk. Well, I know. I'm giving you credit. I'm giving you credit for the good work. CM Punk, Curtis Axel against Paul Heyman in a handicap match. So listen,
business is picking up, folks. This is where the pay-per-view gets in.
The selling point of the pay-per-view, there were two selling points. Two major selling points. Those were Randy Orton against Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan, will he finally get his moment, and after all these beatdowns, will he finally get the title?
And the other was to see Paul Heyman
finally get his
ass.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. And finally gets a hold of Heyman.
Exactly.
I mean, almost guaranteed you it happened.
And it happened. Kind of.
Yeah.
And I gotta give this man props. Because last week, he came on here and he said, you know what? It's a handicap match. They're probably going to do the beatdown, right? CM Punk's going to get his hands on Paul Heyman. But then, somebody's going to come down and they're going to make the save.
I was a little less than that. I said that he wouldn't even get touched. I said there's two ways it can go. Either fucking Punk finally gets to beat the shit out of Heyman. I said, but that would end the program, and I think they're going to keep it going. So they have to find some way that Punk doesn't get a hold of Heyman. So I pretty much said he wouldn't get touched, which he did a little bit.
Right.
Which you'll explain in a second. And I said what will happen is Punk will beat Axel, eliminate him. It was a handicap elimination match. So he has to get through Axel, then he's got Heyman. He got through Axel, and I said what will happen is he'll either get to Heyman, and that'll blow the program off, which I don't think they're going to do. So the only other option is somebody's got to save Heyman. So we'll debut a new Paul Heyman guy. It'll either be an NXT guy we've never seen. We talked about Sami Zayn. Maybe we said he might be too small. I said, that'd be okay. Punk small. I said, or it could be Ryback or Big E Langston, because they're two big fuckers that really can't talk for shit.
Right.
Although Langston can kind of cut a good
Big E Langston with a baby face.
Yeah, and they're turning him face. So you even say, well, it won't be Langston. I like Ryback. That's a good idea, Matt. Maybe Ryback. So we were kind of both right on that.
I never call you Matt. I call you
Boom. Whatever. Yeah, okay. I got used to Matt again when I lived in Florida. But, okay, Boom.
So I don't think I've ever called him that in my life. No, I always say, what up, Boone?
Yeah, and everybody around, even your sister, like girl.
Yeah, Boone. Everybody calls him Boone up here. But no, you were absolutely. I mean, you were pretty much dead on with Ryback. And I love it, dude.
It wasn't that shocking. Yeah, and I think it's great for Ryback because he's got the look. He does, and he's not the greatest worker, but he doesn't need to be. He just manhandles people like Goldberg.
Reminds me a little bit of Steve Austin.
But it reminds me of Goldberg. But yeah, and book him the same way Goldberg. You know, it doesn't necessarily squash everybody, have a streak, but have him be a manhandling fucking beast. It's not very controversial to do that. You know what I'm saying? If you will, baby.
You didn't like the Dusty promo last time. I thought it was
we'll
good,
save that.
man.
We only got 10 minutes.
We gotta
okay, but yeah, I love Ryback. Now Ryback said somebody could talk for him, as we saw on Raw. Kiss on the cheek for that.
So Ryback puts Punk through the table, and then
carries Paul Heyman sliced his fucking back all up his shit during that spot.
He got got.
Yeah, he got got. But basically what happened was, Punk got through Axel, had his handcuffs in his boot. He had to wrestle like 10, 15 minutes.
I know.
That fucking hurt. Yeah, I would take the handcuffs out, handcuffs Heyman's hands behind his back so he can't tap out real quick to give up. Right. So now he can't just like, I give up. You know, fuck it, you gotta take the beating because you can't tap. He started screaming tap, but I guess it doesn't count. So anyways, he's handcuffed. Punk has a kendo stick because both him and Axel.
Alright, how about the padding underneath Paul Heyman?
Yeah.
That?
Yeah, I did. But so he starts whipping the shit out of his leg. And then he takes a page out of the movie A Bronx Tale. Anybody who saw the movie knows what I'm talking about. There's a famous scene with the bikers in the bar. It's a fucking awesome scene. I'll break it down in 2 seconds for you. It's an Italian mafia bar, okay? Exactly. An Italian mafia bar, and it's these biker assholes. And their gimmick is they go to bars to just terrorize these bars. So they're going to go terrorize this bar. They won't let them drink. So the main mob boss walks in, and the biker guy's like, well, you won't let us have beers. Like, our money's not good here. And he's like, a couple beers. That's all we want, a couple beers. We'll get out of here. He's spoken like a gentleman. Give the man a beer. They give all the bikers the beers. They shake the beers. They start spraying them everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Mafia says, no, that wasn't nice. Now you've got to leave. He said, fuck you, the biker did. And the Mafia guy keeps his cool and says, turns around, walks over, shuts the door, locks and turns around and says, now you can't leave. Bunch of fucking mob guys come out, they beat the shit out of all the guys, drag them out, smash their bikes, and then right before he leaves, he grabs the main guy and he says, look at me. I did this to you. fucking throws him down. And Punk said right before he had the kendo stick.
I was waiting for this. Where are you going with
Punk grabs the kendo stick and says, "Remember, I did this to you."
Oh,
Bam, bam, starts cracking the shit out of him.
All right, no doubt.
So he took a page out of Brock's tail. Very nice.
No doubt. That was
before he could, and he sets his head up. And he says, "I broke your heart, huh? Now I'm going to break your face." Before he can, that's when Ryback came out. So he did get a little bit of his hands on Punk, which makes you want to see him finally get his hands on him. So that program keeps going, and we got a new face and Ryback because nobody gives a shit about Curtis Axel.
Yeah, Axel's.
So now we got Punk Ryback and Heyman talking to us.
It's going to be Punk Ryback at Battleground.
Yeah, so it's a little different. It's more interesting, and it keeps the thing going, which means more Punk Heyman promos, which is a great thing.
We had a great thing.
No Punk on Raw, though.
No Punk on Raw. Yeah, it's selling the injury.
Yeah, probably.
We had Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler for the U.S. title. Dean Ambrose wound up retaining here. Pretty good match. Well, at that minute, they kept it short. Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns against the Primetime Players. Once again, no title changes on this entire pay-per-view until the main event. So there was nothing until Daniel Bryan won the WWE title. So the finish of this, who was it? Roman Reigns was in there with Titus O'Neil and hit him with the spear, right? I believe for the pin, right? So
this is the match that Titus O'Neil looked like a superstar. Right?
He looked great. He looked right. Awesome. And Darren Young too. Darren Young. Ever since Darren Young came out, he looks a lot. He's got like a lot of passion. You
can see that he's got a lot more energy, a lot more enthusiasm. Titus O'Neil, meanwhile, is banking off of all this extra attention that they're getting as a team because they're already a team, and he's shining. I thought O'Neil was great in that match.
Yeah, O'Neil is
really good.
Yeah, no doubt. And then the main event was Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton for the WWE title. Kind of a surprise here. I didn't expect. I mean, you said that you thought there was possibility that Daniel Bryan would win the title here. I said I don't think there's any chance they're going to do that. I think they're going to continue this Daniel Bryan being the underdog. He's going to chase after the heel, chase after the WWE title, and they wound up giving him the title, and then that kind of leads us into Monday Night Raw.
They did the fast count. So,
they did the fast
and then there was 10 minutes after that, so I thought they were going to have Triple H come out, either restart the match or script them right then and there.
Right.
And they did the long celebration. So you're waiting for something, you're waiting for something, they go off the air, and like, oh shit, I guess Bryan's WWE. Afterwards, I said, that fast count, you're like, it was a fast count.
I'm doing the play-by-play.
Sometimes he won't look at the screen. He'll be typing.
So a lot of times, and Boone came in and said there was a fast count, and then everybody on my Facebook page too kept saying, there was a fast count. What was up with that? I had to go back and rewatch to find out, what it was all about, and then you told me, and then, and that leads us right into Monday Night Raw. We'll talk about that. We got about 5 minutes. We're going to skip through Raw. We'll go towards the high points.
There's really only a couple things we talk about.
Right.
Raw sucked. Raw was trash. Yeah, and there's only 2 or 3 more rolls until Battleground. They didn't set up anything.
They didn't set up anything.
They got
we're not going to get back Punk
and another one.
Bryan and Orton.
Yeah, maybe a rematch. Some kind of stipulation Triple H to be the ref, something with the referee probably because Armstrong was fired, I believe.
Something Cody Rhodes too. Yeah, they fired Triple H fired him in the backseat.
We'll talk about that after the break. But yeah. So
okay. All right, so that led us into Raw. The end of the champions leads us right into Raw, right? So they bring out Daniel Bryan comes out, right? Okay, no doubt. So Daniel Bryan comes out, and he's the new WWE champion, right? He's gloating about how he finally did it. Actually, before he could even talk, he said, "There's only one word I have to say about last night's match." He takes the title, holds it up, and yes, right, yes. So that brings out Punk. Triple H with the heel music, no doubt. Heel theme. So Triple H comes out, right, and he gets straight to the pit. He's storming down. He's got the serious look on his face. Right. Listen, I want to call some. Brings out Scott Armstrong. We see some replays. They show an original Scott Armstrong pin, and he says 1, 2. He's counting over the video, so you can see the cadence is already used of the pin. Cadence? Speed. That's what Triple H said. Yeah. It was so fun. Same as cadence. I thought cadence was like something about your tone of voice, but I guess it's also like So cadence means what? I wonder why they named them cadence. Well, it's just a name too, but right, but it could mean something. Yeah, cadence is like the cadence of your voice, like how you speak, and then I guess in this instance it's timing or the speed or something, what you count. But anyways, we're gonna spend 10 minutes. Anyways, he shows the original cadence of a Scott Armstrong pin. 1, 2, 3. Now let's see last night. 1, 2, and by the time he got to 2, he already hit 3. So he's like, here's what we need to do. And they do the split screen and everything else, like we was talking about. And then they say, here's what we need to do.
you need to give me the title, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, because it'll take forever.
Right.
Basically, he doesn't want to give him the title, and Orton, by the way, comes out. He's demanding to fucking give me the title back.
Right.
No,
I got this.
We're going to keep the title vacant for now until further review. We're going to investigate. Because also, Scott Armstrong looked at Daniel Bryan and said, they're on to it.
Yeah,
Daniel Bryan was in on it.
But Daniel Bryan gave him a look like, huh?
Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about? For us, what do you mean?
And Triple H caught that. He brought that up in the front.
Obviously, it'll be revealed later that somebody on the McMahon regime was in on
this guy or
maybe Shane. Something. Here comes the money. Ron G.
Ron G said that.
That motherfucker's good with
Yo, Ron G, listen, bro.
I don't like that one either.
You're good, but you're not that good.
Yeah.
That was a Ryan Clark prediction.
You're good, but you're not that good. Is that what you said? That's my one. Because it was like a Ryan Clark prediction. Because he said, well, Shane McMahon's theme song, Here Comes the Money. Yeah. Somebody paid off Scott Armstrong.
That's my boy Ron G in the chat room tonight.
Yeah. Listen, I like the idea. If they do it, I think that's brilliant. But anyways, long story short, right before Triple H goes to take the title, Bryan doesn't want to give it to him. And right when he goes to do this and take the title back, Orton hits him with the RKO. You're right. Right. Triple H takes the title. Right. We go backstage and Stephanie was on a roll there. Oh, the fucking loud screech. I'm sorry for your ears. My ears are still ringing from that last night.
How's the video and the audio tonight? Thumbs up, thumbs down? They can't do the thumbs up, can they?
No, we can't take a thumb.
Or we can't see it, but they can give it to it.
Good or bad.
Chat, are we good tonight? How's the, we didn't ask him earlier. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Ron G.
Ron G's good, dude. You know,
trust Ron G. We can trust his layers.
Trust all the diehards in the chat room. You guys tell us we're good, we're good.
It's good, audio not so. It's okay.
Alright. No, not as good as last week.
Worse than last week? It's okay.
Alright, what if we fix the microphone? Got the volume all the way up? Yeah, it's all the way up.
Are we good over here?
Yeah. Everything's good. Volume all the way up?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what we got on
definitely not as good as last week. That's a hip scratch.
That's a downer. That's a thumbs down.
It's the same thing that happened originally. Our audio was fine, even we had the mic here. And after 2 weeks, all of a sudden there's this big audio problem. We didn't change anything about what we did.
Yeah.
Last week, this is what we did with this ugly fucking stick. And it worked perfect.
They were going to paint this for us tonight, but we didn't have time.
But this is what we did, and it worked perfect. This is the same thing we do this week. Doesn't work. Nothing's different about what we did. And yet, it messed with the fucking aggravating. I don't like it. But anyways, it's 9 o'clock.
Alright, no doubt. Alright, so that's, why don't we take a break, and then we'll come back and we'll finish up. I mean, it's better than it has been, right, guys? I mean, in previous years, it's been really bad in previous years.
Audio had muffled.
Alright, no doubt. So it's not that bad. It's not that bad. We're doing alright. Alright, so check it out. Rapid fire. This is where rapid fire, yes. Let's put up the rapid fire. Tell them.
Well, if you would like to participate in the rapid fire with me, we'll get to it in just a few moments after this break in our numero dos. You go ahead and you log on to facebook.com/
You can't do that to me.
Brian Clark, WZR, you gotta hurry up. Facebook.com/ Brian Clark, WZR. Get on over there. Top those questions, your rapid fire questions or comments. Don't answer other people's. That's our job. Try not to make them big fucking paragraphs. That's a lot of reading. It takes too much time. We ain't got a lot of time this week. Get as many in as you want. We'll answer as many as we can in a rapid style fashion in hour number 2. A little bit here after the break. One more time. That's facebook.com/ Brian Clark, WZR.
Alright, guys, you're listening to WZR Radio.
Yes, you are.
What's that, dude?
Me.
Brian Clark, him. Be back right after this. Finishing up Monday Night Raw and taking your rapid fire questions. And Jim Ross. We're going to talk about the... You're an asshole, bro.
On camera.
Alright, fellas. We'll be right back.
I'll grab my dick because I was going to see it. Alright, let's do it. get right to it, man. We're back. We're back. We're back. Look at him. He's cut it.
This setup's gotta change, man.
I didn't take the whole set down. Some people are graceful and some aren't.
Oh man, what's up, man? What's up? All right, we're gonna work on the music for you guys. I see you in the chat room. We're working, man. Just bear with us. You know, this is an ongoing project where, God, I'll tell you what, man. If we took week after week, we wouldn't have been here for the last month? 2 months?
It'd be a couple. Yeah, at least.
Yeah, we're, you know, you gotta bear with us while we do this. You know, we got the video's fixed, the audio's pretty much, we're almost there. Phone calls, we are one step away, and it has to do with the program on Skype. So once we fix that, we are good to go on that.
Something you forgot.
What I forget? The ashtray. I did.
Oh, well.
Damn it. All right. So anyways, we're working on it. Phone calls are coming, and we'll be able to do rapid fire and everything else. So we're in there. Bear with us. So let's finish up Monday Night Raw real quick, and then we're only gonna do. Me and Boo were talking about it during the break, man. We're only gonna do the high points and the low points. And then,
we already covered the Scott Armstrong title situation.
Right.
We covered the basically we covered Ryback and Haley.
Yeah, let's talk about. I mean, we had Ziggler and Ambrose. It was pretty much a rematch from the pay-per-view. Ziggler actually picked up the win here, which was interesting. It was a non-title.
Sets up another title match.
Right. That
needed to do that.
Continues. We had Fandango and R-Truth, kind of a whatever throwaway type match, right? R-Truth came out rapping again. Talk about. Dusty Rhodes, man. Dusty Rhodes promo from Raw last night. He's out.
Gotta correct you. There wasn't a Dusty Rhodes.
Oh, it was Virgil
Runnels.
Yeah, Virgil Runnels. Okay,
yeah.
All right, no doubt.
His real name, which, by the way, for those who don't know, back in the day, $1 Million Man had a servant slave guy, his manager named Virgil. That was a knock on Dusty Rhodes because at the time, Dusty was like the Jim Ross of Vince McMahon. Mm-hmm. He was that. Jim Crockett for NWA, which later became WCW. He was the guy who created
I love this guy with the history lessons, man. He knows his shit, man.
He created Starrcade, Halloween Havoc, Great American Bash thing. He was the booker, basically. So he wasn't just a wrestler. He was the guy pretty much calling the shots, creating the direction of the company. He put the Clash of Champions up against WrestleMania and screwed with pay-per-view. So, yeah, Dusty was, he was Virgil. They made Virgil a black slave to the rich $1 Million Man, and a Vince always saw himself as the $1 Million Man character.
Right.
This is my slave, Dusty. And then when Dusty came in, they put the polka dots on, and they farmed him. When his son Goldust came in, they made him a fag cross-dresser.
Right.
Gay cross-dresser stars. But, yeah, so they've always been fucking Dusty.
So what was your problem with the Dusty promo last
It was just the fact that it wasn't the Dusty's like fun.
He's fun, but this is not a fun storyline.
Yeah. And it was basically just an excuse for Stephanie, who takes it very personal, the whole history.
I thought he kept cutting Steph off last night.
Trying to, yeah.
Yeah, I thought she was going to get pissed.
But basically what I was saying, seemed like the whole point of this is for Stephanie to come out and talk, make an asshole out of Dusty on TV.
Right.
Because she's always taking it real personal. Now
Well,
her chance to like get in his face
and
talk shit.
the basic gist of things
Let it go.
was
You won the war.
right. The basic gist of it all was, listen, there's one job available, and it can either go to Goldust or Cody Rhodes. So you've got to pick between your two sons.
Yeah.
One of them gets a job, one of them doesn't.
His analogy was like, you got some daughters. How about
Right.
How about you take them out to breakfast and you pick your favorite daughter, right? The other two go to bed. You're not eating today. Like, that's what he said. Yeah, that's basically what you're asking me to do.
No.
So I won't pick.
What is this? Okay, my original thought, and we put something up on the website today, the Rhodes Dynasty against the Shield. And they were talking about doing all three members, which would be Dusty, Cody, and Goldust, or Dustin, against the Shield. With that being said, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Dusty's not in in-ring shape, okay?
I think they have Cody versus Goldust as the winner gets.
They could do Cody versus Goldust, or
we're going to make your sons fight each other. Whoever's the better
son would go on to do that. Or, I mean, here's if they don't do the one-on-one between if they don't do the one-on-one, who's the better son type deal, and they wanted to do that at WrestleMania, they've been setting that up on Twitter.
It makes sense too, because like they're going to force them to fight each other. Brothers are going to have to fight each other
with the stipulation of whoever wins gets the job.
You're going to cost your brother's career, and you're going to have to kick his ass.
Now, if they don't do, so they could do the one-on-one, or they could do the 3-on-3, which is Dusty, Cody, and Dustin against the Shield.
Yeah.
I just don't think Dusty's in in-ring shape where they would put him in. Even though it's a tag team match, Dusty would he's lost a lot of weight, but Dusty would barely have to,
I think it's more of
he would basically come in and hit the bionic elbow, and then that would be it. That would that would end. Things. Or the last scenario is they could do a 2-on-2 with Cody and Goldust team up against Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. That would free up Dean Ambrose to have a match with Dolph Ziggler. That makes setting up space. It makes a lot of sense. It's either 2-on-2 and that frees up Ambrose, the 3-on-3, or the 1-on-1.
I don't know what they're going to do. From what we heard, they're going to do the 3-on-3.
What do you guys think in the chat room?
I don't see Dusty them allowing Dusty to wrestle. Very low heart attack and everything. How would they let a guy even older than Lawler? He certainly has old, and they wouldn't be in his worst shape. Lawler's never had a drink of alcohol, a cigarette, or a drug in his life. That's the cleanest wrestler ever. He still had that heart attack, right? Which is funny because he blames it on the Dolph Ziggler 10 elbow drops, and at the pay-per-view, Ziggler did 9 of them and turned around and pointed to Lawler.
Did he? I didn't know that.
Lawler even noted on commentary. He said, that's something that'll kill somebody or something.
Yeah. Where's Flair? He thinks they're gonna do the one-on-one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what they're gonna do. We've heard 3-on-3. That's what everybody's telling us. But I say what they should do, the most creative, is to make the sons fight each other. One of your sons is gonna go beat the shit out of the other one and cost him his career.
And that's what Robbie agrees with Winners Flair in the chat. Doing the one-on-one.
I've always wanted to see that anyway. Ever since that Royal Rumble where you could see the fired up fucking Cody when Goldust came in. I got goosebumps watching that. It was just really cool to see.
And they've been hyping that on Twitter too for over a year now, right?
Cody's always been a deal.
They want to do it at WrestleMania. So most of the guys in the chat room are talking about the one-on-one match. That makes the most sense. Yeah. The sons got to fight each other, and the winner is creative. Maybe have Dusty referee. Do something like that. Put Dusty in there somehow.
Yeah, Dusty has to count the 3 that cost his sons.
Right. See?
We're coming with better shit than that guy.
Yeah, I know. Dusty would have to. I love that idea, man. Dusty would be the special guest referee. He would have to make the
Dusty would have to. He's slow, and he would have to drop down 1, 2, get back up, drop down 1, 2.
Then we get back to the fast counts, the slow counts, and everything else.
A lot of movement. I don't think they would let a big guy do that much stuff because of health concerns. But who knows?
That would make a lot of sense. Though. Put Dusty in there. Yeah. What else on Raw? I know you said you didn't really like the promo. I thought it was a good back.
It's not that I didn't like it. I just was hoping
you wanted the funnier,
not too much funny, but just more charismatic, more. And even if he's going to be serious, my problem was he stuttered and stammered over his words so many times.
He did stutter and stammer over his words.
Factually wrong things. Cody's a former 4-time world champion.
Yeah.
tag champion, world title, but tag title. But he just stuff like that. It was just like Dusty's supposed to be the killer of promos. That just wasn't a Dusty promo.
We had Total Divas versus the non-Total Divas pitch break here, right?
Yeah.
Total Divas match. We have Rob Van Dam and Damien Sandow. RVD picked up the win here. That's interesting. I had said previous week Damien Sandow might cash in during the RVD.
He's cashing in on Twitter, by the way.
Did he? Yes, he did. You're right.
How long till I cash in? Hours, days, minutes?
Here's a big segment we need to talk about. Randy Orton gets the Miz. We kind of talked about it earlier. The Miz parents for it.
Yeah, we did.
Randy.
Because earlier in the
What are
night,
they doing?
real quick earlier in the night when Stephanie was screeching because Randy Orton got Triple H's face. I don't want to know what's going on. And before Triple H could say anything, Stephanie cut his nuts off and made him look like the bitch. Like she wears the pants in the family.
Yeah,
she jumped right in.
Hey! Yeah.
Like,
hey, shut up!
I've never heard such a screech.
Yeah, that was
Vicky Guerrero. Yeah, it was just. But anyways, the point I was saying was because they said, we need the Randy Orton to come back that fucking handcuffed me to the ropes like you beat the shit out of Stephanie. Where's that guy? That's the Orton we need to represent this company. Blah, 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 blah. Yep. So this was the whole reason they did this right here. Miz comes out for a match. Before he could do anything, he's hugging his mom. Out comes Orton. And punches him, beats the fuck out of him right in front of his parents. Proving that he's got that ruthless streak in him still. Does this great DDT off the barricade onto the floor instead of in the ring now.
It's the RKO that they, it's his RKO, but it's off like the ring rope.
It's not an RKO. RKO is.
Oh, kind of. He takes him and then he drops him down.
That's it.
Yeah, all right. You're right.
But either way, instead of doing it in the ring, he did it on the floor. He did that for Dixon too.
So Miz is going to be off TV. They weren't doing much with Miz anyways, right?
Is he going to be off TV because of that?
I think so. I mean, they took him out pretty good. I mean, they hyped it up that he was.
He's not doing nothing anyway.
Later in the night, they said that Miz's neck wasn't broken or something like that.
He talked about they broke his.
Oh God, it was something weird. I want to
put a T like R.
Thorax. Yeah, that's what it was. Yep. All right, no doubt. The new Paul Heyman guy, Ryback.
We talked about that earlier. They did the promo here to pretty much confirm it.
Paul Heyman out in the wheelchair. Says Ryback saved my life.
Yeah, well, he comes out in the wheelchair because, like you said, Punk kind of got to him and he beat the shit out of his wife with the kendo stick. So he's in a wheelchair and he even brings that up and he says, but before he could destroy me, it even said, I'm the new best in the world because I can see him.
And he did.
Punk.
He did, and the announcers the night before.
Love the way he says names now.
Yeah, the announcers the night before Night Champion says, Paul Heyman's never going to let this go. He didn't see him.
At the symposium, Mick Foley even says, how do you say that name again? Throw the extra syllable in? Because he says, Upper Rock. Yeah. Les Brock is one syllable, but he says, Upper Rock. He turns it into like three, and now he says, CM Punk. Right. He does that one, but anyways, he thanks Ryback, gives him a kiss on the cheek. Which was fucking. I was marking out. I was marking out in here for that. I thought that was cool as shit. But that's basically what happened there. Ryback said, as long as I'm around, I'll never get beat.
And then we'll go straight to the main event here. We had we pretty much ran down everything.
Fired Scott Armstrong.
We talked about that earlier. Scott's the main referee too.
He was their senior official.
Yeah. Main event: Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns.
I kind of missed this. I know at the end.
I mean, basically, first and foremost, they gave the match almost 20 minutes, 25 minutes. This thing started at about 10:40 Eastern time and went to 11:05. The ending of Raw, I'll give it. It was a lackluster pay-per-view. It was a lackluster Raw. But the ending of Raw last night, where basically all the babyfaces in the locker room, and the only two big names that came out were Ziggler and Rob Van Dam were out there. Everybody else is like Primetime Player, Zack Ryder, Kofi Kingston, tons of fun. But it was the baby faces in the locker room who had finally had enough. It was all the guys backstage where Daniel Bryan was walking to the ring, right, and they were all patting him on the back. Hey, good luck tonight, man.
Like embracing him. You're our guy. Kind of like when Bret Hart won the title at that WrestleMania and every Randy Savage, Razor Ramon, the whole roster put him up on their shoulders like this is our guy, not Lex Luger. This is our guy.
It was a cool way to end Raw, where the baby faces, the mid card guys, the baby faces come out. Mostly mid card guys, Rob Van Dam and Ziggler.
By the way, did we even run down what they did with Dusty with Big Show knocking him out?
No, they beat him down. Big Show.
What happened was Stephanie, because like we said, they made him pick between his two sons. He wouldn't do it. So they said, all right, well now you got to pick between getting dismembered by the Shield. Doesn't that mean cutting your dick off? Or is that
dismembered means like cutting your body parts?
Okay. I know decapitated head, dismembered I always thought was like cutting your member off. But okay.
Not your dick.
Yeah.
It could be an arm, it could be a leg.
That's right. Right. You're right, I'm wrong. How about that? 3 times in one show. Either way.
Woo!
But so he had to choose between being dismembered by the Shield or getting knocked out by Big Show.
Yes, sir.
Big Show stops the Shield from doing anything, so then Roman Reigns grabs 3 chairs. So they all got chairs. Now Big Show either has to stand there and watch him get the shit beat out of him with 3 chairs, or he has to knock him out with 1 punch. He figures it's less violent to just hit him once. So he throws a jab like Ryan does.
And they caught him
to it.
He caught
him kind of like, what was it, when Jericho and Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania. Remember Jericho loses to Michaels in Seattle, but right after the match, they go to shake hands and hug. Jericho goes, no, come here, give me a hug. Right. Afterwards, kicks him in the nuts, and Shawn looks at him like, why? And he grabs on his body and slides down. Right. Why'd you do that? It was the same kind of thing. Big Show knocks Dusty out, but catches him because the other one will fall and like gently sets him down. He's crying. Made me sick to see that. It was just stupid acting, bullshit. Unless they're going somewhere with it, they need to fucking stop that. But so then they stretched him out, and that was that.
And then the main event, like we said, the babyface came out. The plan next week is for anybody that came out on Raw last night is for Triple H to basically say, all of you guys didn't do the right thing. But this was the 1 week where Triple H basically said to all the guys, you know, the previous weeks he had said, if anybody comes out, if anybody interferes, you're getting fired. This is the 1 week. Triple H didn't say that, and all the guys had the opportunity to come out.
These are the same guys that were afraid to even speak up,
Triple
let alone physically.
I can see it next week on Raw. Triple H is going to be out there and say, you know, Dolph Ziggler, I saw you out there. To the you know, Zack Ryder, I saw you out there. I saw you out there. I saw you out there. And he's going to put him in matches with different people. You know what I mean?
Make him pay for it. Yeah, I don't know if that's what we're doing. That's pretty good.
We put it up on the website today. So that's the pretty much anybody that came out last night is going to be
probably too many matches.
Well,
20 guys.
They'll play it off, you know, over the course of the week, whether it be tag team matches or the pay-per-view's coming up.
And even NXT, Triple H was at the NXT taping.
Right.
He fired what's his face is the GM of
NXT.
And renamed JBL News.
Who was it? Who was the NXT general manager?
I can't remember. Oh God damn, it's gonna bug me. Who was it?
Somebody in the chat room. The NXT general manager.
Dusty Rhodes. Okay, yeah, that's right. And then they made JBL the new one. He's the heel guy. And they had a lot of big names working matches. The NXT taping some pretty.
G, I tell you what, brother, you are one of our most loyal, diehard members.
And he's one of the smart dudes.
Yeah, he's smart. Look that man in the camera. Anybody in the chat room? Are you guys
He is 0-2, he said.
I thought he won the first week.
Wow, I'm 2-0, so best of luck there, buddy.
I still think
you should have gave me Calvin Johnson. Look what happened. Fucked up, buddy.
I still think he's got the best team. When I look at that, even his bench players, I want to trade you for some of your bench players.
He's got Peyton and he's got Calvin Johnson.
I need to start no Sean Moreno. That's what I need to do. The last 2 weeks I've been killing it, but I don't want to do that because Denver starts 3 running backs and they alternate them throughout the game. But no Sean seems to get most of the carries, so I need to start it.
Same with Reggie Bush and Joey Bell.
I'll trade you, Rygal. I like your bench players too, man. I like your bench players.
I'm not willing to trade anymore. For the longest time, I said I'll give you anything for Calvin Johnson. Guess what? You go ahead and keep Calvin Johnson. I'll keep winning with the team I started with.
All right.
We're wasting a lot of time on this shit.
I'm 0-2 in my other league, and I'm 1-1 in this league. I get Jim Ross. Jim Ross. We need to talk about Jim Ross. Let's get to the news. We put some news up. We already talked about SoCal Val getting arrested. TNAWrestlingNews.com. Jim Ross.
Okay.
You want to run down, or you run down?
You can jump in. Like, it all started at the WWE 2K14 symposium.
That's SummerSlam weekend.
SummerSlam Max this weekend, and they had, a couple of the newer guys, Rey Mysterio, Dolph Ziggler, Daniel Bryan, and then they had some legends like Steve Austin and Ric Flair and Paul Heyman and Ric Flair. So they asked everybody for their favorite moments. Mick Foley, because Jim Ross has everybody for their favorite moments, except for Ric Flair. Then he switched the topic, starts going on to something else because it had a script they wanted Jim Ross to follow. Mick Foley interrupts and says, wait, why didn't you ask Ric Flair his favorite moment? So next thing you know, it became the Ric Flair show. He's talking about if Harley Racing, Daniel Bryan, my God, what kind of champion is he? He's talking about TNA. He's talking about John Cena likes to drink. He didn't before I met him. Now he has a 6-pack a night. He's talking about, and this was really what surprised me, because apparently the one thing that bothered him more than anything was when he talked about Ric Flair, his son who died of a drug overdose, which is touchy, but he didn't bring that part up. All he said was that his son died.
He mentioned TNA too. That was another thing.
But he didn't mention the drug part of it. He said my son passed away, and the only reason he brought it up was because he wanted to point out how classy a company WWE was. Right. He said, I took my Hall of Fame ring off. And anybody who knows Ric Flair knows he treasures those things. I mean, on TNA television, the biggest storyline was Ric Flair and Hogan bragging about their Hall of Fame rings. Hogan gives the bitch his ring. Ric Flair talking about a 2-time Hall of Famer. He takes one of the rings. He says he puts it on Ric Flair's hand right before they close the casket and bury his dead son. He's telling this story. And because he didn't want to seem like playing favorites like us, he didn't want to do with his kids, he gives David Flair the other Hall of Fame ring. And he says, to show what a classy company WWE is, he goes to one of the events, whatever, and Triple H pulls a Scott clip, and he's in trouble. And it turns out that they give Ric Flair an extra Hall of Fame ring and engraved on it something about Ric Flair. Long story short, he's pissed that he's bringing this up. And who gets fired as a result? Jim Ross.
So what happened?
Was Jim Ross expected to do?
So what happened is that was about 3 weeks ago. What Bill just talked about, and they were pissed off. And at the time, we reported on the website that listen, WWE management was ticked off, but 2K, which was the company in charge of putting on the event, they were happy with it.
Really?
And they were extremely happy with the extra media attention that
not only that, but that it made it more entertaining. It seemed very stale and like scripted, which it was. They made like that. Ric Flair made it more loose and fun and energetic.
And then when the stuff came out online about Ric Flair, going off and being drunk, and Jim Ross being drunk, they got all this extra media attention, and it all revolved around
their company, promotes the game. They get extra.
They were happy. Stephanie McMahon went and apologized to 2K, and they said, we really don't have a problem. We really don't have a problem with it. So about 2 or 3 weeks passed, and when the news first came out, there was talk that, Ric Flair, Ric Flair was supposed to make a cameo at SummerSlam. He was immediately pulled. It pretty much
supposed to sign a new contract.
He was supposed to sign a contract as an ambassador for WWE,
like a legend.
That is all off, and Ric Flair, although it hasn't been reported, Ric Flair fired. Okay,
not so much fired. He's not re-signed.
He's gone. He was never signed in the first place.
But he was going to be re-signed.
Going to be re-signed, but if he was re-signed, he would have been fired, and that would have been done.
And because he was going to be re-signed, they said no, we're not re-signed.
About 2 or 3 weeks went by, and everybody thought that things had kind of calmed down.
Or just it was done.
It was done,
and Flair didn't get signed. We're moving on. Now
Ric Flair didn't get signed. We're moving on. Everything's done.
in the past.
Or
so we thought.
They contacted Jim Ross at some point last week, early in the week or over the weekend, and told him that after the TV tapings on Monday and Tuesday, they wanted to see him in Stamford, Connecticut. That takes us to Wednesday. Jim Ross flew in on Tuesday night.
The day after our show.
And everybody knew on Tuesday night that Jim Ross is in town. He's in Stamford, and they kind of had a feeling that this may be it for Jim. There's going to be a meeting.
They knew there was a meeting.
There were very few people that knew about it. Those being, Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, Vince McMahon, Kevin Dunn, people like that, and Jane Godfrey.
Pitch from Total Divas.
Right. Pitch from Total Divas. Sorry. So anyway, there were very, very few people. There was a meeting between Vince McMahon and Jim Ross. I believe it was just those two. Don't know who else was involved.
Triple H might
have been there. But it basically came to Vince McMahon saying, "Hey man, what happened 2 or 3 weeks ago at SummerSlam Symposium?" And they got into it, and it went back and forth. And from what's come out, and Jim Ross, first of all, Vince McMahon's not going to give you the details on the meeting. You're not going to hear from Vince McMahon. And Jim Ross is too classy of a guy to come out and trash the company. So whatever happened in that meeting,
the whole point of the retirement is that they wanted to put a public spin.
They wanted to put a public spin.
He's retiring gracefully with his dignity intact, and it's not a big controversial thing.
It was basically Vince McMahon and Jim Ross in a meeting, and Vince McMahon says, "You know what? You're not doing much for us in the first place anyways. You're not a full-time announcer. Maybe it's time with the symposium and everything else. Maybe it's time for you, to part." And they ended the meeting with Jim Ross walking out, and the public spin, as you say, was Jim Ross retired. Now, Jim Ross came out. He was on the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani the other day, and we put the quote stuff. And although he didn't flat out, come out and say, "Yeah, I was forced out of WWE," he insinuated that he was.
On the MMA Hour?
Yeah, I put a recap up. Well, the quote that I have on the website kind of insinuated that, it was the best time for me to leave WWE.
Because Helwani flat out said, he said, well, sometimes we hear that there's a public thing that really behind the scenes is not what everybody thinks. He says,
he downplayed it.
He said, we heard you retire. Behind the scenes, I'm kind of hearing that it wasn't the case. Sometimes he said, no, tell us what really happened. And he's like, well, and he was very diplomatic about it.
You're right. And then, Jim came out with a tweet and said, that his wife Jan had asked him, "I thought you were retired." And he said, "No, I'm not retired. I'm going on to my next gig." You know what I mean? So Jim Ross, listen, the guy had no plans to retire. He talked about loving WWE.
He specifically said on his UK speaking tour, he was asked, how much longer can you do any plans? He specifically said, "I have no plans to retire."
I have no plans to retire. And he said this a couple of weeks ago. Before the meeting with Vince McMahon. So he had no plans to retire from WWE. No. And the fact that WWE says, he retired, they forced him into basically quitting the company. And then the public spin, like Boone said, is, hey, we're going to put it out there that you're retiring. Well, you're retiring from WWE, and that's, what WWE...
What they were trying to avoid is what's happening. They didn't want the big backlash on the fans, because they know how beloved JR is, not only by the fans, but by the wrestlers, especially the veteran wrestlers like Undertaker and people like that.
Exactly.
So, yeah, they tried to leave with his dignity, and publicly it looked like you retired and you stepped out on your own, but secretly we're saying, you fucking asshole, you screwed that whole thing up, get out of it.
Secretly, we are saying, fuck you, you're fired, man.
Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to, man. No matter, there are some people that are going to believe public spin, he really retired from WWE. And you got to remember that a couple of weeks ago, about a month ago, Jim Ross said he had no plans to retire from WWE. So the fact that all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he's retired after we know that they were pissed off with the whole
symposium. That's what I was going to say. Let's not forget. This was specifically the reason he was fired. Was because of that. And anybody should have been fired. Should have been Ric Flair. Yeah. Why blame it? He was, but why blame let's put it this way. Let's say Michael Cole was the host of that event.
What could Michael Cole have done?
Probably would have done even worse. Jim Ross really was like, Mick Foley, let me run this thing here. I got it. He's basically telling him, shut up, let me do my job.
He tried numerous times, bro.
Telling Rick, all right, Rick, calm down. All right, Rick, he would say something, and Rick would start talking. God, he's got a story about that. Like, he's trying his ass off to get it back on track.
So hard,
Michael Cole, anybody else running that thing would have probably done a worse job.
I don't care.
Would have probably done a worse job. Would they have fired Michael Cole? Absolutely not.
No, of course not.
Absolutely not. They have this plug up their ass about Jim Ross.
Right.
They like fucking
I don't think. I told you, Vince McMahon has never liked Jim Ross.
Yeah,
never had it. He's never liked it.
No, he hasn't.
And the fact is, this was their
I think he's jealous of how respected he is as an announcer.
Maybe that's what it is.
Because when JR came in, Vince
used to announce.
Vince was the announcer. Right. JR came in, everybody's like, "Oh, JR says," and then so it became JR's main job to announce. Stop announcing.
The way that they have treated him, and I understand that
people like PWI magazines would make Jim Ross the announcer of the year.
What you guys see on TV is storyline and everything else when Jim Ross is fired, but they still, every time they're in Oklahoma, they embarrass the shit.
They get off on fucking with them.
They get off.
And let's not forget that famous parody, the Oklahoma thing in WCW with Ed Ferrara fucking making the Bell palsy face.
Oh yeah,
Guess where that started? As a closed-door joke with Vince Russo, Ed Ferrara, when they were still with WB as writers.
Where they make fun of it.
They would do that for Vince. Vince would fucking laugh his ass off. So they put it on TV when they would.
It's like a high school locker room in WWE, and they get off on shit. You know, the way that Jim Ross looks and the way that
Southern accent, back in like barbecue sauce. Let's say he's got colon cancer. He could die in surgery, and what does Vince do?
He mocks it.
Dr. Heine, let's pull a bunch of shit. Let's pull his own head out of his ass. Insinuating that he's always had his head up his ass. Like, it's just, they fuck with them. They love fucking with them.
And this was their opportunity.
They fired him so many times. Well, let's not forget, Jim Ross is the reason Steve Austin came to WWE.
He was head of talent relations. So many people.
He signed Steve Austin. Foley, Brian Pillman, the list goes on and on. He recruited Brock Lesnar straight out of college, Shelton Benjamin. Really, the fucking guys that are running the show right now, you pretty much have to credit the JR for recruiting them or signing them or both. They don't give him any credit for any of that shit. Any chance they get, they fuck with him. He's been fired 3 or 4 times.
Do you know that he has never come out, no matter what happens on TV, even when he gets fired in real life, he has never come out. He'll never bash the company.
No.
He has never
joke about that Vince likes to fire me and blah, 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 but he'll never bury him.
He is the most classiest son of a bitch.
He's got class to share, man. He's got that much class. That motherfucker is my hero. Let's put it that way.
Right.
I wish I had as much class.
If that was me or Boone, and we're writing blogs all the time, and what happened last Wednesday happened to me, you'd see a blog on there from me telling you how things actually went down. Instead, Jim Ross thanks WWE, thanks Vince McMahon. And no doubt he's been there for years, but the way he's been treated, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And that's what it comes down to. The main story is up on the website. You guys have all seen it. Everybody listening.
Well, that's the other thing. Like, a lot of guys, you know what happened? In this situation, if they get fired and they put it in the public another way, retired, that's when guys like Shad would come to you and be like, here's what's really happening. Right. Tell my story because you're the only guy, reporters are the only way we can get the truth out. Jim Ross does not do that. He does not go to the reporters like me or you or the other guys. He keeps his mouth shut, stays professional. Fuck it, I'm fired. Let's go look at UFC. Let's go look at this job.
And I'm going to I'm moving on. I'm going to the next,
if I had a hat, I'd fucking tip my cap to it. He should, but he would never take his hat off. Even for Jim Ross, I'd say take that hat off and show you respect. But no, I'd tip my hat to that.
I respect the hell out of you, Jim Ross. I really do. He's very classy. And
the best not going to see him
transfer company. He's the best announcer in WWE.
Not just announcer, the best talent. J.J. Dillon didn't do half the job he did. J.J. Dillon was in an era where he could just grab guys from WCW and put a gimmick on in WWE. Right. Jim Ross had to do it when there was no WWE or when he was competing against WCW. WCW had all this money. JR had to go to college and recruit football players and amateur wrestlers to try and grow them from nothing. Right? And WCW had all this money. We'll just buy this guy, that guy. J.J. Dillon had the opportunity. We'll take this territory. AWA guys, NWA guys, packaging it, repackaging WWE. Jim Ross was doing it from scratch. So he's got an eye for talent. He's the best announcer. He's a fucking grade A professional.
And you know what? Let's say that. Let's say that they ever get the WWE network off the ground. I'm not saying that Jim Ross is never going to be back in WWE. Maybe he is. Maybe they'll bring him back to the network. But as of now, the reason that Jim Ross is gone from WWE is not a retirement. The guy had no plans to retire. He was basically forced out of the company. And that's where we're at. He was fired. Yeah. Jim Ross was fired from WWE.
Like you were saying with the network, if they come out with that network, I got news for you. If they're going to show all this old stuff, like they just did the Mid-South DVD, they had Jim Ross redub commentary over the match.
And Jim Ross,
and he was the original announcer anyway.
What is he, out of retirement? Is that going to be it? Oh, Jim Ross comes out of retirement? You fired him. You guys fired him, man. That's exactly what happened.
But like if the network, if they need somebody to go in and do stuff with the old videos, because they own all the tape libraries of all these other independent, or not independent, these old territories, these promotions. There's very few guys that had the knowledge of what was going on in those days, and individuals involved, the wrestlers of those eras, the promotions of those eras, the things that were going on. Jim Ross, Jim Cornette, J.J. Dillon. There's a very select few guys that could come in and be like, here's what was going on, here's how we present the story.
I've seen comments on my Facebook page where people are saying, Jim Ross, well, he wasn't barely being used anyway. You know what, though? He was, man. And that's not the point that in the last couple of years he had barely been used. It's the point that he's had a 20-plus year tenure.
He was barely used on TV. He was doing a lot of shit.
He was doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. And not only that, he's got 20-plus tenure. That's not the way that you treat somebody over something that
I know something about that. I spent about 14 years with a guy and just woke up one day and threw me out the fucking garbage.
That's not the way you treat a guy that's done so much for you, that's brought in probably your biggest name ever in Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, The Rock, people like that. But one year,
the ringmaster on, they didn't even realize what they had. Jim Ross was like, "Oh, guys, he's the real deal."
It's
not that he would ever take credit for it.
That's the whole point.
He'd be the first guy to tell you, no, Austin did it himself. Foley did it himself.
It's not about the point where we haven't seen him on TV, and he did a lot of stuff behind the scenes that you guys weren't aware of. It's just it's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable. Who's this in the chat room? It says that Ryan Clark's biggest fan. He said, we're going to get SmackDown and main event spoilers up, but here's a spoiler for you. At the main event television tapings, I trust this guy. I just was in here every week.
It's weird that they would do it at main event.
Yeah, it was on main event. Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton are going to face each other for the vacant WWE title at the Battleground pay-per-view. We talked about that now at number one. We knew that they were going to do a rematch.
The only question is, will it be a gimmick match? Will it be a special ref? Will it be some kind of stipulation?
Right.
Something's got to be different. They can't do another thing. I wouldn't think.
Well, they'll probably announce that on SmackDown or on Raw next week. We've only got 2 weeks for next week's Raw. October 6th is Battleground. That's not right. Yeah, it is right. I think. Let me see here. It's October 6th. So October 6th is the next pay-per-view. So you've only got 2 or 3 weeks before Battleground. So they've got to start making matches right now. And they didn't do much on Raw last night. I think we're going to see Ryback versus CM Punk. Yeah. Ryan Clark's biggest fan in the chat room. Randy Orton, Daniel Bryan.
It's now the advertising for the Survivor Series in Boston.
Right.
Say also Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton for the title. They say CM Punk will finally once and for all.
They were going to keep that storyline with Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton going for months.
Yeah, but also the Heyman thing's supposed to keep going because they said once and for all is the quote. Punk will get his hands on Heyman, so maybe it'll be a one-on-one, maybe something like that.
Right. All right. In other news, we can do this all in one. Let's talk TNA contracts real quick. A lot of people. Ken Anderson, AJ Styles, and Mickie James. That's what we're going to talk about right now. AJ Styles.
We're going to do the Hogan and TNA taking into
We're going to talk about that. That's next. But it's with the contract. You're right. We'll talk about AJ Styles. Signed a short-term deal with TNA, runs through December.
And now they're doing the gimmick where Dixie's the heel promoter, AJ.
Impact spoiler for next week. AJ Styles comes out and calls out Dixie Carter next week. Is what we'll talk about. Dixie Carter basically turns heel.
Yeah, absolutely. But AJ Styles' gimmick is that he's on time now, so they're doing that on TV. But he did sign a short-term deal, which gets him through Bound for Glory because he ended up winning the Bound for Glory series
through December actually.
Because he won the Bound for Glory series. So he will be facing either Bully Ray or who's Bully Ray's next challenger?
Bully Ray,
playing Samoa Joe on the cards this weekend. There's a house show.
Bully Ray. I don't know who Bully Ray's facing. I don't think they have the match confirmed yet. I know that, AJ Styles gets to go against Bully Ray because he won the Bound for Glory series.
He gets to face the champion.
He gets to face the champion, whoever that is. So it's going to be Bully Ray. They don't have. By the way, the next pay-per-view is Bound for Glory. They only do 4.
Yeah, but they have another TV special, I think. Or no?
I don't.
No. Bound for Glory is October. Right. By the way, Bray Wyatt did come
All right, so AJ Styles signed through
Did you know
December.
who Bray Wyatt's dad is?
I do.
Remember Erwin R. Shyster?
I do. Did you really? Get out of here. Wow.
Mike the Thunder.
No shit.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, his
No
uncle
shit.
was like Barry Windham is his uncle, I think. Something like that.
I didn't know he had all those ties. Yeah. Wow.
Bo
All right.
Dallas as well. That's right. Bo Dallas is his brother.
Brother?
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't know that, but Ron G. I trust.
Ron G.
Yeah.
God
I
damn.
know
Give it up for Ron G. Ron G. Give it up.
Virtual foe.
Little jam for you.
Virtual
Yeah.
foe.
All right, so AJ Styles
Virtual
signed
foe.
through December. Mickey James' TNA contract recently expired.
Today.
They are, was it today?
It was yesterday.
Yesterday or today? They are
They offered her a new deal. She rejected it. And now they're going through another round of
talks.
Yeah.
So they are trying to get her to resign. Whether it works out, we don't know yet. But,
Probably the deal is the same with Styles. I think they're offering less
money.
I think Mickey's obviously getting less off.
Right.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, they're cutting costs across
What's
the
she going
board.
to do? Go back to WWE? I mean, they called her Piggy James in the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the other one is Ken Anderson. They did a major beatdown this past week on Impact. They took him off TV. There are some reports on some websites. They turned him babyface, and then Bully Ray did the beatdown, and they wrote him off TV. There are some reports on some websites that claim that Ken Anderson has re-signed with TNA. Not the case. They are in ongoing talks right now. We put it up on TNAWrestlingNews.com. There has been no deal signed as of right now, as of earlier today. No deal between Ken Anderson and TNA. So they are talking. Same thing with Mickey James. But as of right now, Mickey James and Ken Anderson are not in TNA.
And I was going somewhere with the fact that they tried to cut Styles' pay.
Right.
They're probably cutting Mickey James' pay. Do you think they're going to cut Hogan's pay when this contract comes up?
That's a good lead-in because
they're going to take it.
That's a good lead-in because Hulk Hogan's TNA contract, put it up on the website today, expires October 1st. The very beginning of October. That's interesting because Down for Glory is about 2 or 3 weeks after that.
Yeah.
So what are they going to do with Hogan? Hogan and Bischoff, and that leads us into our next, story here is Hogan and Bischoff. A lot of people in TNA rolling their eyes. Hogan and Bischoff are the main people behind
Bischoff is
TNA.
mainly the creative guy.
We need to go to Monday nights. Failed. Didn't work. Now we need to take Impact on the road. To put on an Impact show, this is the reason that they do double TV tickets. $600,000.
As we said, instead of free, no ticket money, but
right.
The amount of money they make off tickets versus the amount of money it costs to produce live TV and to go on the road and have all that production equipment.
Cost WWE over $1 million every single week to put on Raw and SmackDown.
Well, obviously, it wouldn't be nearly as much as TNA, but
TNA is about $600,000 every single week.
Fucking pretty penny, man.
With the tractor trailers and hauling the equipment.
Guess what? The rating doesn't make a damn bit of difference.
And the hope was that by going on the road and doing a live or a taped Impact, you would have a larger crowd. It would look more full in the arena. And the ratings.
Yeah, I'm talking dollars.
That hasn't happened. So basically, they're wasting $600,000 every single
because the rating doesn't look any different. TV looks exactly the same.
Nothing.
You couldn't change it. I would have no idea.
You have no idea that they were out of the Impact.
Yeah, I mean, I would kind of, but does it make a difference that they're out of the Impact Zone? Does it show any better because of it?
You can't really tell.
We're gonna have different crowds. So what?
So now they are looking at a permanent location in either Florida or Las Vegas. It would save them a lot of money. They're probably screwed out of the Impact Zone as that's been taken over by somebody else.
Dixie never really liked that anyway.
Right, that too. So, this is the second fail. There's been a lot of fails, Hogan, Bischoff, and they will place the blame on everyone and anyone but themselves when they're the ones. They basically demanded, we need to go to Monday nights, we need to take Impact on the road, and everything that they demanded, they've got. And Nixie has given it to them.
It's cost them a shitload of money. It cost them a lot of money. And all these cuts, all these guys that like AJ Styles, fucking
and
loyal.
Where's the rating?
Let's put it this way: on a small level than JR, AJ Styles is the loyal fucking.
Been there since the beginning.
Yeah, and the anchor of the company, and he's always loyal, and he's a hard worker. You can never fucking give him. You can never say he's phoned in a night of work. He's always giving it all. But and now here's the reward. You got to cut your pay.
And everybody, all these people, you know, on my Facebook, Impact, TNA needs to take Impact on the road. They took it on the road, and nothing happened, guys. Nothing happened, right? Nothing. The ratings haven't gone up. Nothing happened.
Big waste of money.
Is it worth $600,000 every? No, it's not. We need to find a permanent location for Impact to be based.
See, Hogan and Bischoff are still they're like the stuff you're saying. Let's take it Monday night. Let's do this. Forget the fact that creatively they keep going back to WCW and trying to do what fucking didn't work or did work and then ended up failing. They used to have Ted Turner's bankroll to do this kind of shit. We need to go live. We need to go on the road. We need to do this international. Blah 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 blah. They've got these billionaire companies with a panda behind them, but they don't have the same budget as Ted Turner was, with WCW. So they're doing all this shit that costs so much money, thinking like it's still WCW. It's a completely different day and age. You cannot just waste through this fucking money and expect to all right, well, we'll just waste more because they got it and they don't mind spending it. They do mind because now they're cutting costs across the board. They're cutting all these wrestlers that should be staying. They're fucking offering guys like Styles less money. It's outside. But
bugging me. I'm listening. You're making a great point right now, but that's bugging me, man.
I completely lost what I was saying there. But anyways, long
bugging you too, man. It's a beefing point. I don't know.
Long story short, when Hogan's contract comes up, it'll be real interesting to see because they're cutting costs across the board.
I think Dixie's a mark for Hogan.
It is, and I think that they think they need Hogan because it makes them look like a major league company. When in reality, whether Hogan's there or not, that rating's going to be a 1.0. That pay-per-view, whatever, it's going to be around the same. Sell the same amount of tickets. Sell the same amount of pay-per-views. What's the fucking... Hogan does all this media. He doesn't even mention TNA, so it's not like, we need the media attention. The media attention doesn't help either way anyway. They need to cut that guy's fucking cost or get rid of him and use that money to fucking sign guys that can actually make a difference.
So what are we going to do, brother? I don't know. Dude. I don't know, dude. What are you going to do, Jack?
I'll tell you what.
Are we going to re-sign Hogan, brother?
Brother, we're going to get into a little bit of rapid fire right now.
Yeah, buddy. All right, rapid fire. We got 8 minutes, man. 8 minutes.
Let's do it rapid fire.
Bang. Ready? Right. Here we go. I'll take the first one. Brian Parker, where's Anthony Rundy's t-shirt? Man, we talked about it now at number 1. Bro. I promise you, next week, man.
All right. Anthony Remy.
Hey,
you got my shirt. And to the chat, I will not turn heel. What's the deal with TNA running an event in New York? They're not going to be Madison Square Garden. Obviously, WWE has the right to that.
First of all, the rental fees in MSG are insane and WWE has
exclusive. Yeah, it's either going to be the Nassau Coliseum, Izod Center, or the Barclays Center.
And don't rule out. I know they're talking about a major venue, like Boone said. Don't rule out the Hammerstein Ballroom. That place holds 4,000 to 5,000 people.
Would you consider that major, though?
It's not a major venue, but it does hold 4,000 or 5,000 fans, and TNA house shows draw about.
It would be a major building. I heard that they're going to run, or a major crowd. I heard a major venue, like a prestigious building. So
Hammerstein Ballroom, as I put up on the website, is very unlikely. The arenas that Boone
Barclays Center, Izod Center, or the Nassau Coliseum.
Those are way more likely than the Hammerstein Ballroom. Let's see, Paul Velasquez, quite frankly, I think there is more to the JR story. Nobody here was behind doors to know what really went down. Option Prince was a mutual deal. Anyways, it was not, man. I can promise you it was not. What is Kane return to progress, the storyline with the Wyatts?
He's doing the Seaman Legal 2. They just released the cast and production stuff for that. So they're going to do that, and I guess they're bringing it back, and that's what Wyatts will do. Yeah. Otherwise, why would they keep them on ice the whole time?
They're doing the Wyatt family vignette to
keep them on TV and keep in everybody's minds. Yo, Ryan, Dick Scott. Yo, Ryan, I sent in 4, I guess 4 is the number. I sent in 4 emails about a new bit, and you did put it on your site. What the fuck? It was meeting the Big Show, and man, he was really a prick to me, so I guess it's the Big Show, and Big Show is a movie.
And that's, if you send it to my Facebook inbox, I do not check Facebook inbox, man. You gotta email webmaster@prowrestlingscoops.com, and nothing about the Big Show came in there, man. So webmaster@prowrestlingscoops.com, that's where you want to send all the news. Facebook inbox, I'm telling you, man, I do not check it. AJ Clark, the difference between pay-per-view and Raw is You pay for no commercials on a pay-per-view. You stream pay-per-views or order them. Ryan Clark's biggest fan. To be honest with you, I view an illegal stream. And I'll promote them right here, right now. WZRsports.net. They're great people. You pay $10 or $15 a month. .net. Right? I thought it was .com. It's .com. It's WZsports.com.
I don't know.
Yeah. You pay $10 or $15, you get UFC, WWE, and TNA. Well with it.
Very reliable. AJ Clark. Oh, sorry. Brian Parker. Boone. Any good real wrestling fighting stories you want to share? We don't have enough time, really.
We'll talk about it next week.
God,
Boone's got some good stories here. Matt Johnson, I thought Raw was very well done in terms of storyline progression and story building. Question from The Shield. Who will be the top star out of the three?
All three will be top. Who gets the first
main event? I think Roman Reigns is very good. Roman Reigns is the big man. But Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Tyler Black, and Dean Ambrose on the indie team. They're the better workers. But Roman Reigns does have to work.
They're the better workers in terms of
wrestling
workers. Yeah, but I think WWE style wrestling, I think probably WWE use them all pretty much equal. Because that spear that Roman Reigns does is impressive for his size.
Roman Reigns got the look, like you said.
Plus he can do the strongman shit. He's got the look. He's got the relations with The Rock and the fucking Samoan and all that. He's got the look. Yeah. I think Dean Ambrose will break out to be the best talk. In my opinion.
I say Dean Ambrose.
Christopher Brown, given that Jared Bitch was thrown out on his ass for refusing to babysit Flair at the WWE 2K press conference, can you see WWE as a whole clamping down on current talent wanting to do outside projects more than they have in the past? I don't think it's possible to clamp down anymore. They don't let them do anything unless they're part of it.
You've got to be a company man. Well,
if you write a book, they've got to be the publisher. If you do a DVD, they've got to be the publisher.
Everything.
So, yeah, I don't think they can do it anymore. Don't you fucking read that.
What's this one? Right here?
This would be the one.
Oh, alright. What do you mean, man? Brian Parker, why do you delete people for expressing their opinions? What are you talking about? I haven't deleted anybody in ages. Any legit ghost alien stories? Would you bang Mae Young for $500,000?
What the alien guy want us to bang Mae Young?
I haven't deleted anybody off Facebook in years. Although I will say this, man. There was somebody that emailed me, and I still need to get back to you. After the Mayweather fight on Saturday night, I went on Boone's Facebook page and I said some stuff that I shouldn't have said, and I apologize. That was a low blow. We had a lot of beers on Saturday night. I did go back and I took it off Boone's page. The stuff that I said on there, I shouldn't have said. He said he's a big fan of WZR TV, WZR Radio. He's listened to us for years.
He said himself that we've got some
right,
beers that dumb shit.
He said some dumb shit too, and I'm gonna get back to you in that email, man. It did touch me, man. When I read it, I woke up the next morning, I read your email, and it made a lot of sense, man. I'll look you right in the camera and say my apologies for those comments. Mae Young, $500,000.
I mean, I can have Viagra to get it up, and like act like fucking. By the way, my new favorite diva goes in the car.
Yes, right.
I've got AJ Lee as number one. She'll probably never not number one. She's so fucking sexy. And then number two, Eva Marie. Marie used to be Stephanie McMahon, but I like Son of Ray now. That backlit shit she was wearing and the split of her thighs. Ooh, goddamn, she's good looking. Brandon Dub Levin. Do you think the Wyatt family and CM Punk will feud with each other after he's done with the Heyman storyline? I think that would be a very creative.
The Wyatt.
I would love it. The promos, the match would be probably great. I would like that idea. I don't think they will, though. I think it would be great.
Jim Nicholson, talking about what we talked about earlier. Big Show, Goldust, and Cody against the Shield.
Question mark. I think he wanted the story. I'll check the archive. We don't have time to tell that. Brian Parker, what's the exclusive unreported news? We talked about that earlier too. You gotta check the archive. Vincent
Nugent, with the way TNA's been having financial issues recently, he cut down. By the way, to answer Brian's last question, I have a default thing, and a lot of times we do report stuff that's not up on the website. There are weeks that we don't put it up, or that we don't reveal something that hasn't been reported on the website. But I do have it's a default thing.
I'm trying to cover for you, man.
And I know, and I may need to change that. You may be right. Where this week, pretty much everything we talked about has been up on the website. So my apologies for that. Maybe I should go back and edit the stuff that I have pre-typed for every Tuesday.
Maybe he should lighten up a little bit.
Lighten up a little bit. Vincent Nugent, with the way TNA's been having financial issues recently, to cut down on things. What do you guys think TNA is headed in the months ahead and next year? I don't think they're about to go out of business or anything like that, but they are just trying to cut costs, and I'll say they'll be around for a couple more years.
I'll say this next year will be really interesting.
Next year will be
and I think it'll be very what's the word? It'll be very crucial to the future of the company.
I think
running on business.
With all these contracts, top contracts expiring, Sting, Hogan, Bischoff, etc., and all the cost cutting we'll see that.
Yeah, I think it's crucial here in terms of if they don't start making money or at least losing less money, I think they're going to have to really look at that thing.
They're going to have to look at it.
To get rid of it or make some huge changes, more so than they already are now. Right. This is my opinion. Brandon Dub Blevin, when do you think Sandow will cash in his Money in the Bank?
I think they're going to take it into next year. I think
the idea now is try and have everybody forget about it so that when they need something fresh or shocking, when they have like nothing to do at a pay-per-view, like, oh, let's have Sandow cash in. They kind of played down the fact that for the longest time he was carrying around the leather thing, nobody's cashing in.
We're going a couple minutes late. We got about 10 more of these guys. Michael Benitez, Kurt Angle in his prime versus Bret Hart in his prime. Who will win? Ooh, man, that's a tough one.
We're talking about workers. Shoot.
We're talking about in-ring workers. I guess
Bret Hart was considered a shooter. He's saying who would win in a shoot. Angle was in his prime.
I'd say Angle. I'm going to say
Angle. Lesnar would be the only competition.
We'll say Angle.
Yeah, Angle. And as far as work rate, Bret was the better worker. I think Angle.
Angle's a beast.
Angle, that's hard to say because Angle can do some of the high flying stuff too. So, Garrett Hell, Sandow cashes in and Cody robs him of the win. Who doesn't see this coming? It's predictable as fast gun Angle was.
Yeah, but Sandow's not involved in the whole Cody Rhodes storyline right now.
But I think once Cody gets his job back, it's time to do something besides.
Cody would have to be world heavyweight champion, or Cody would come after
Sandow cashes in and wins. Cody robs him of the win.
Okay.
Well, Sandow cashes in.
Yeah, right.
And when he goes to win, Cody comes out and stops him.
There you go. That's not bad.
And he cashes in and wins.
Because with the creative fuck up and everything, with Cody and Sandow. Let's see. Vincent Nugent, you got a couple here, man. We'll give you one or two more. Who do you guys think Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s next opponent's going to be since he put one hell of a dominant showing against
Canelo Alvarez?
Right. Let's see. Floyd Mayweather. Who's next? I don't know.
There's nobody. You just take somebody and try and build them. Maybe they can finally get back out together. I don't know. We'll see.
Who do you think his next opponent is? The Undertaker at WrestleMania. I like Garrett's reply to you. All right, one more from. We'll take one more.
He thinks that Sandow and Cody Cashman did it. Vincent Nugent, Ryan and Matt. Is this on?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, is this one?
Yeah, that's fine.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think about the overall UFC 165 event for this upcoming Saturday night? Who do you think will win the co-main main event? Co-main event is UFC Bantamweight champion Henry Morale, and Eddie Wyland. Main event is UFC light heavyweight title John Jones, Alexander Gustafsson. Who you guys think will win the fight?
Where's that?
John Jones kills Gustafsson.
Yeah, no doubt.
And Morale will beat Wyland.
I'll go Wyland just to go against you.
Morale looks really good.
And the last one here from Robert Fisher. You think it will be Daniel Bryan versus Kane for the title at Hell in a Cell? No, I think Kane comes back. He's going right back into the storyline with Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family. And Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, that's going to continue from what we've heard for the next Survivor Series. Yeah, through Survivor Series. So Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton pretty much locked up, and Kane comes back right back into the Wyatt family.
But then after those two programs are done, John Cena will be back by January,
and they hope
we could switch to the John Cena being the focus and all that, and then Daniel Bryan would have to have something to do. Kane would be done with Wyatt, who would have something to do. They could be a tag team. Makes kind of sense.
Good show tonight, brother.
All right,
another good one. Another Tuesday night. We will work on the audio. We're going to work on the live phone calls for you as well for next week. Thanks to everybody that came out in the chat room tonight. Thanks to everybody that comes out every Tuesday night from 8 to 10 Eastern Time, WZROnline.com. Check the website over the course of next week. Never know if it's going to be a busy week or not, but we'll see. See what's happening. Never know. All right, guys. We'll talk to you guys next Tuesday night, 8 to 10 Eastern Time. For Matt Boone Boone.
That's me.
This is Ryan Clark.
That's him.
Thanks. See you next Tuesday night, 8 to 10 Eastern Time, WZR TV.